Live from Pasadena, California, out here at Jackie Robinson Field. It's the Arroyo Seco Saints taking on the Academy Barons. Evan Davis alongside Adam Beck. And for the second time in as many games, we have a rematch between the Saints and the Barons.
Yeah, these two teams faced each other earlier this week, and it was a close game. 5-4 Saints win after they were down 4-0 early on, and really started with Adrian Lopez, a huge home run in the middle of that game that kind of catapulted this offense. And it's really been the offense that has killed for the Saints squad early on. I mean, they've got the most stolen bases in the CCL, the highest on-base percentage, highest OPS, second highest batting average, third in slugging percentage, and they're averaging almost 8 runs a game, just at 7.9 runs per game. This offense has been flawless.
You talk about the offense, but how about the defense? See how they line up. Usual suspects out on the field. Jacob Shart in left. Crew McChesney out in center. Ray Bermudez in right. Josh Livingston at the hot corner. Adrian Lopez at short. Tyler Gordon gets back in the lineup at second base. Joey Donnelly at first. And behind the dish is Nick Lazara.
Yeah, Burge getting a day off, and we've seen kind of Lazara, Burge back and forth, and Lazara's been playing really well late. Good to see him get back in this lineup. I really like the way this defense is oriented today. Good to see Jacob Shart in there. Good to see McChesney. Bermudez gets back in and run field. But how about Tyler Gordon? We mentioned him earlier in this season in the broadcast about what he can do offensively. Good to see him in the lineup and back from after a week off or so.
First pitch just about to get underway, and leading things off for the Academy Barons, shortstop number 5, Evan Cornwell. The senior from Pompton Lakes, New Jersey, playing in his 9th game of the season, a .257 batting average, 4 RBIs, and on the mound for your Saints is Michael Nunez. It's that first pitch just outside, ball 1.
Second start for Nunez from Loyola Marymount University. Pitched 3 innings, 4 earned runs, 6 hits, 2 strikeouts versus the Crawdads in his first start of the season, but it really didn't go as planned. Saints probably would have liked him to get a little deeper in this game. So let's see how he starts tonight and see if he can, get past that first or second time through the lineup.
That pitch just outside, the count now 2-1. Cornwell, his last game came against the Riptide in that huge loss they had. Big score for both sides, but 2 for 6, 3 strikeouts for him.
Cornwell also didn't play against the Saints earlier this week when these two teams faced off.
So the count now 3-1 for Cornwell. Nunez fires. That one just slapped back, and the count now full.
Really like Nunez attacking the outside half of the plate there, forcing Cornwell to just dribble that one off the end of his bat. Foul.
Nunez sets and fires for the 3-2. And that one outside, and a leadoff walk for Evan Cornwell.
That brings up a dangerous hitter in Zach Freeman, who's coming off a really good game yesterday, 3 for 5, after the 1 for 4 performance on Tuesday against the Saints. Freeman leads this team in batting average. He's tied for second on the Barons in RBIs.
Nunez making his 3rd appearance for the Saints. 4 innings pitched, 7 hits. Is that one outside? The count 1-0. From Loyola Marymount University, 21 1/3 innings pitched, 4.22 ERA, 20 strikeouts. It's Cornwell on first. Freeman up at the dish. Designated hitter today was a center fielder. The last time these two teams met, made an incredible play on a Nick Lazara potential double. Robbed him of extra bases. 371 batting average. We talked how he's the hottest hitter on this team from Ohio State. So 1-1. That one just on the outer half of the plate. Nunez gets the call on the count 1-2.
He's really working that outer edge against these lefty hitters early. Nunez trying to come in through that back door on some of his off-speed stuff. He's got a fastball, slider, changeup, curveball. Slider working early.
As Cornwell goes, that pitch outside. Ball gets past Lopez. He doesn't know where it is, but So stolen base for Cornwell. Now a runner in scoring position with nobody out.
And you probably would have liked maybe a better attempt there from Lazara. That pitch was a fastball outside. Perfect opportunity for Lazara to pop out of his stance and fling that onto second. That throw just a little late, and Lopez unable to come up with it cleanly. So Cornwell in there at second base, and both these teams super aggressive on the base paths. So expect to see that base running mentality being aggressive all night long.
That one slap back foul, so the count still remains at 2-2. Freeman appeared in 6 games at Ohio State. Just 3 at-bats, went 1 for 3 with an RBI triple. Was injured his sophomore season, just playing in 1 game before missing the rest of the year due to injury, as that went outside the count full.
We've seen Lazara behind the dish for a little bit, but let's see how Nunez attacks this pitch here. Does he go back to the outside? Does he go back inside? Probably goes to the slider. That's the stuff that he likes as his secondary pitch after his fastball.
That one fouled back. The count still remaining 3-2. Freeman looking to add to his RBI total, already 6 on the year. Has a chance with Evan Cornwell dancing on second. Nunez looks back, fires. That one connected right to Tyler Gordon. And 1 out to start as Cornwell advances to third.
And good to see Tyler Gordon get what was more or less a routine ground ball early on. It's good to get him back in the defensive mindset, back into that mentality, just gets an easy one, restores the confidence. He's been out of the lineup for about a week or so. So good to see him make that play over there at second base. Now you got a runner on third, too, so Nunez is going to be looking right at him, the right-handed pitcher. He's going to be able to see third base when he sets to fire, so he's got a little bit of extra things to think about here.
That one outside. Start him up 1-0. And that's Dylan Kordick, who will be patrolling first base tonight for the Barons.
It's just the second game of the season. Played against the Riptide last night in his debut, 2024 debut in the CCL for the Cal Poly first baseman.
Went 0 for 3 with a walk. He's ahead of the count 1-0, and Nunez fires that pitch outside. The count now 2-0. Very favorable hitters count for Kordick, who has Cornwell on third and a chance for an early 1-0 lead for the Barons.
Kordick didn't record a hit yesterday. Came around to score after a walk.
Is that one in there for strike 1?
That's a confident pitch right there by Nunez, attacking the zone on the inner half.
Nunez working, trying to get back into the count as he fires that outside, and that'll be ball 4. So 2 walks to start things off here for Michael Nunez. And now stepping up, Dylan Lena, who was very active in that last game against the Saints. Numerous ground balls and flyouts to him.
Yeah, made some plays at second base. And, you know, this is a guy that has kind of struggled this season, even though you see the 282 batting average. You might not think that. You might think that's okay. He's had like a whatever start to the year. But outside of his 4-hit game where he had 4 doubles, I mean, he's been incredibly quiet. Only 4 games where he's had a hit outside of that.
Yeah, currently 0 for his last 11 as first pitch fouled out of play. 282 batting average from Golden West, where he batted .275 in 39 games played. Last game against the Riptide went 0 for 4 with a walk. Had a .403 batting average in those 39 games, as that one is hit right to Ray Bermudez. Easy catch for him, but deep enough to score Cornwell. And the Barons out early, 1-0.
Nice job by Dylan Lena doing his job, putting the ball in play, getting a runner across.
Batting fifth from University of Houston, center fielder number 28,
Now, a guy who we didn't see in the last meeting against the Saints, center fielder Jack Burke, 5 games played so far for him, a .353 batting average, 2 doubles and a triple, 3 of his 6 hits, extra bases, as Nunez starts him off 1-0. Previously played at Cypress College, now at the University of Houston. Made that commitment in November 2023, and his last game came against the Conejo Oaks. He's quickly behind 0-2. Had a double and an RBI in that game.
Yeah, Burke's one of the most dangerous hitters on this team. He's second on the team in batting average. He's got RBIs and multiple hits in each of his last 2 appearances. He just hasn't played in about 6 days. But he's a guy in this lineup in the 5-hole who's going to be incredibly dangerous. He's a guy who's got some power. He's got some pop in his bat. And he's someone that Nunez is going to have to be able to pitch around or pitch through. It can't be lay off here because he's a good bat. And having Burke back in the lineup, Saints didn't see him on Tuesday, gives this Barons team a little bit extra oomph, especially in the middle of the lineup. Another bat that can really do some damage.
Dylan Kordick trying to get Michael Nunez to think about him dancing over there at first. 2 throwbacks. The count goes to 1-1. As that one is slapped right. Nice play by Tyler Gordon, who throws it onto Donnelly in time. What a play by Tyler Gordon to get Nunez out of the inning. The Barons put up 1 thanks to a Dylan Lena sac fly, but that's all they get. As we get to the bottom of the first inning, the Saints looking to respond. Welcome back to the bottom half of the first inning. The Barons quickly up 1-0 in this one, and on the mound for the Academy Barons is number 40, the right-handed pitcher Andrew Stanley from Wagner College, currently making his 3rd appearance through 7 innings so far, 9 Ks, 2 walks, and a 1.29 ERA. See how he's got the help around him with Colin Taylor at 3rd, Evan Cornwell at short, Dylan Lena at 2nd, Dylan Kordick at 1st, and in the outfield, left to right, Andy Cisneros, Jack Burke, and Deuce Robinson, and manning things behind the plate, Andrew Pyle.
I'm really curious how this Barons defense plays today, because yesterday was a tough game against the Riptide. 6 errors yesterday that accounted for 10 runs. Barons lost 16-9 against the Riptide. 6 of those runs were earned. However, the other 10 came off those 6 errors. Barons had 3 errors on Tuesday against the Saints. They lead the league with 28 errors, 10 more than the next closest team as Jacob Shart swings through that first pitch.
Jacob Shart was named Player of the Week last week. 7 games played so far for him, a .417 batting average and a .708 slug. As that one right into the glove of Stanley. And nice defensive play by him. So 2 pitches in, the Saints 1 out.
And I really love the way that this Saints lineup is constructed today. You got Shart, McChesney, Josh Livingston, Adrian Lopez, Joey Donnelly, Ray Bermudez, Nick Lazara, Peter Worth, Tyler Gordon. But really it's the top 4 guys that I think are put in great spots. Shart leading off, he's been awesome. Has the unfortunate line out there, but you get Crew McChesney here in the 2-hole, and I think he's so much more dangerous when he doesn't have to necessarily focus about getting on base 24/7. The 2-hole, he's got a little bit more time to lay off. That time grounds out to first base, but no Cam Conley today. It's the first time he hasn't been in the lineup. He started every single game for this squad, but I just think this is a really strong top 4 for the Saints squad. 2 outs here, though.
Now up, we actually saw last game for Crew McChesney. Swung on the first pitch in the first at bat as well that resulted in an out. But now Josh Livingston, who didn't play in the last game against the Sunrays, made his last appearance against the Barons, 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. And this is a guy batting .261 on the year, just 1 RBI.
Yeah, and I think we've expected a little bit more from Josh Livingston. Maybe we were hyping him up a little bit just after that incredible end to the season he had at Wichita State, hitting 4 home runs in the AAC tournament. But he's a guy that just needs to get 1 swing or 1 hit to really rally his momentum. You really feel like it's 1 thing away. He snapped a 4-game hit streak earlier this week, I guess almost last week now, against the Foresters in Santa Barbara on last Saturday. He went 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts in that game. And just feel like that was kind of that flip of the switch for him. He kind of needs to get that hit or that moment as that baseball gets put right into the fence. It's stuck in the fence as Caleb Reyes goes to pluck it from there.
Ahead of the count, 2-1 is Livingston, the rising senior from Prosper, Texas. As that one just outside the count now, 3-1. Talked about just an incredible end to the season for Livingston that culminated with 11 home runs and 39 RBIs in 28 games played. He's ahead 3-1 in the count. That one outside of the plate. Count runs full. Stanley with a ground out and a line out for his first 2 outs, trying to go 1-2-3. It's a 3-2. That one. Fly ball, easy play for Dylan Lena, and how about a 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Stanley? We'll head to the top of the second inning with the Barons looking to pile on to their lead. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling on the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2. With the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Worth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things?
Number 44, Deuce Robinson.
Leading off the top of the second inning, the right fielder Deuce Robinson from USC. We talked about he's both a wide receiver and an outfielder, patrolling right field tonight. And we also mentioned in the last game against the Barons, 2023 season, 16 catches for 335 yards and 2 touchdowns, courtesy of Caleb Williams at quarterback.
He's a true athlete in right field, and you can tell by his stance, his batting stance, his swing, that he's just got that natural, raw, athletic ability. Does it translate to the baseball field? Yes and no. Sometimes we saw it, especially in that first game against the Saints earlier this week. A couple swings up high looked kind of awkward, looked kind of not necessarily pure and flawless, but I mean, Deuce Robinson's playing some excellent baseball right now, currently on a 6-game hit streak.
As that one's chopped right to Josh Livingston, who fires not in time, so it'll be an infield hit to start things off in the second inning for Deuce Robinson.
And that's just the speed down the base paths. Make that a 7-game hit streak for Robinson now, an 8-game on-base streak. He's really feeling it at the plate right now, but that's an excellent play by Josh Livingston to even have a chance at that. If you have a guy who's maybe not 6'6" and a two-sport athlete playing at one of the best schools in the country for football, that throw could beat him. But just an excellent play for Livingston to back up down the bag over there at third base, catch that in his glove off the weird hop, and just even have an effort across the diamond.
Yeah, keeping what could have been a double into a single as Nunez fires that pitch right into the past Adrian Lopez. So now runners on first and second. Quickly 2-on to start the top.
Yeah, and that's just a really nice piece of hitting from Colin Taylor, going right back up the middle. He's tied for second on the team in RBIs with 6 of them, and it's been hits like that that have really propelled him so far this season. It was actually hitless going into yesterday in his last 3 games, but had a 1-for-5 day yesterday, so gets hits in back-to-back days and tries to reignite himself in this lineup, and that brings up Andrew Pyle.
Andrew Pyle was the DH in the last game versus these two teams, will be the backstop tonight from Fullerton College, playing in his 5th game of the season. Is that one outside for ball 1.
Yeah, Nunez has been rattled so far, especially with the base runners. Had to deal with a slew of guys on the bases in the first inning, gave up a run after the Dylan Lena sac fly to right field, and here has to deal with 2 early runners with no outs.
Is that one in there for strike 1? Quickly even up the count. And talk about Andrew Pyle, 4th on the team in batting average, batting at .278, only a .556 OPS, which just tells you 5 hits and 18 at-bats, all singles. 2 RBIs, 5 strikeouts, no walks this season. Is that one in there? And Nunez quickly works back into a 1-2 count.
He's only playing his 5th game this year. This is a Barron squad that's pretty deep at the catcher position. He's battling with a slew of other guys to get in the lineup every day. And these are 2 teams that are going to see a ton of each other throughout the season. 9 games between them. Saints already getting up to that 1-0 start. Just a call down to first base there to see if he went on that check swing.
Held up, and the count runs even at 2-2. Pyle didn't play in the team's last game against the Riptide. I mentioned his last start coming against the Saints, where he went 1-for-4 with 2 strikeouts. The Saints came back down 4-0 to win 5-4 as the 2-2 outside the count runs full. Nunez trying to record the all-important first out here. Limit as much damage as he can. The Barons up 1-0. Top of the second inning. Runners on first and second. No one out. As the 3-2. That one outside. Bases loaded. And that's Nunez's 3rd walk of the game.
Yeah, and he's really struggled to find the strike zone, and it's leading to a lot of pressure on the base paths. We saw this Barons team get off to a hot start in the first game that these 2 teams played against each other this week. I mean, they scored 4 runs in the second inning, and it was based off of walks and poor pitching from Trajan Lee, and then giving up a triple to the 9-hole hitter and it wasn't Andy Cisneros Jr., it was Raymond Jenkins, but Andy Cisneros Jr. now in the 9-hole with the bases loaded. Big opportunity.
Just batting 111 on the season through 5 games. That one's in there for strike 1. Cisneros Jr., 9 strikeouts and 18 at-bats, 4 RBIs, 4 walks, 2 hits on the season, one of them being a double that he connected on against the Conejo Oaks in an 11-8 loss, as that one paints the inside corner. And Nunez quickly ahead 0-2.
That's beautiful stuff there from Nunez. That time working inside, back towards the plate on the inner half. Cisneros, no chance with that.
Nunez looking for the first out of the top of the second inning. Bases are loaded as the 0-2 swing and a miss, strike 3 call. And Nunez gets a huge first out via the strikeout. Oh,
They'll call a deflection there, I think, of foul tip.
My apologies.
What would have been huge. See if Nunez can respond and rally and come back there with the maybe off-speed stuff to try and get that swinging third strike.
So the 0-2 gets past Lazar, and that'll score a run. So runners advance 90 feet, 2-0.
And you can tell that's partially a confidence thing. I mean, you're struggling to find the strike zone. You try and pitch that perfect pitch, and it gets just a tad away from you. And now Nunez, essentially the wild pitch brings home a run. Now you're down 2-0. You got to figure things out here. Have to find the strike zone. Can't allow something like that to happen or load the bases again.
So a 1-2 now. So pass ball scored Deuce Robinson. So 1-2. That one is confirmed swing and a miss on the foul tip. So now it's the all-important first out and Nunez's first K of the afternoon.
Goes back to the top of the lineup to Evan Cornwell. And this is a guy that you can try and get that strikeout with. 12 strikeouts already on this year, tied for 5th in the California Collegiate League. This is a guy you have to attack here at the top of the lineup.
Cornwell walked in his first at-bat. Stole a base as that one. He's sent right up the middle. Lopez gloved it down. Throw on to third. And that's a pass ball that will now advance Cornwell to second.
Interesting how they're going to record that. I wonder if they maybe give an error to Adrian Lopez on the throw to allow the runner to move up from first to second. But it was a really good play by Adrian Lopez to just get to that ball. That ball was beamed right back up the middle. Really impressive job by him to kind of get that step over, keep that ball in play. It saved a run because if that ball gets to the outfield, another run is scoring. But Lopez, we've mentioned the defensive issues throughout this entire season so far. Already 5 errors in 6 games. Might have just picked up another one there. It'd be interesting to see. We'll get some confirmation on how that was scored.
So now the lead extends to 3-0. Zach Freeman up. That one outside. The count 1-0. Freeman grounded out to second in his first at-bat. Just an easy play for Tyler Gordon, who finds himself back in the lineup after a few games off. 1 out. It's the 1-0. Swung on and miss. Count now full. Count now even, 1-1.
Freeman, I mean, we've mentioned he's a guy that can really do damage with the bat. Coming today, team leader in batting average, 3 for 5 day yesterday with a run. Doesn't have an RBI since a week ago against the Sunrays.
As that one gets through Livingston, that'll score at least one. And nice base running from Freeman. Or so we thought, and out at second. So the lead goes to 4-0. As questionable base running. I thought he might have gotten there at second, but a nice tag applied by Lopez.
Yeah, really just smart for Shark to get that ball in quick to the cutoff man. Livingston at third base. Normally you'd expect it to be the shortstop, but Livingston able to throw onto second base and, able to apply that tag for the out. That's a huge out now because now you just got to deal with the runner on third base. You don't even have to focus on him if you can get the out at the plate.
2 outs. Barons lead 4-0. Maybe a little bit of deja vu from the last time these two teams met. As Nunez fires that one outside for ball 1. Nunez 1 strikeout, 3 walks through an inning and 2/3. Just trying to get out of this one. That one slapped back and the count now evened up at 1. Dylan Kordick making his Barons debut last game against the Riptide. Went 0 for 3 with a walk. He drew a walk in his first at-bat in this one. It's the 1-1 offering. That one outside. The count now 2-1. Nunez struggling a bit with the hits we saw in his previous 7 innings. 6 hits given up. It's just a lot of singles up the middle, finding holes, kind of similar to their last game. Is that one fouled out of play? The count now 2-2. Nunez just trying to get out of this inning.
Yeah, and coming in today with a 2 whip, which is pretty high, above the Saints average for sure. And he's really struggled to give up those base runners so far. And see how he responds here. Just an out away from getting out of this inning.
Is that one down low? And the count now runs full, 3-2, with Dylan Lena on deck. Cordic was at Cal Poly St. Louis Obispo this past year, the rising senior. Traditional first baseman. Was a 3-2. Swung on and missed for strike 3. So Nunez gets out of it, and the Barons put up a 3 spot in the top of the second inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second inning with 4, 5, 6 due up for the Saints. Well, kind of similar to how the game went for the last time these two teams played. We head to the bottom of the second inning with the Saints trailing 4-0, 4, 5, 6 due up. And leading things off this inning, shortstop Adrian Lopez, who is arguably maybe the second hottest hitter on this team, following Jacob Shart, a 391 batting average in 6 games coming into tonight. Had his first home run of the season last game. Is that one on the outer half of the plate for strike 1.
I mean, this is a guy, he's fifth in the CCL in batting average among qualified hitters. The stat that really jumps off the page for me is the .615 batting average on balls in play. Are you kidding me? .615 in the young season and 29 plate appearances. I mean, when he's put the ball in play and not struck out, yes, he struck out in 31% of his at-bats, or plate appearances, rather. But when he puts the ball in play, I mean, 6 times out of 10, it's a hit.
Currently a .517 on-base percentage and 1169 OPS. Went 1 for 2 last game with 2 walks. That game coming against the Sunrays as the 1-2 in there on the outer half of the plate. Strike 3. And Andrew Stanley places 3 strikes on the outside for his first strikeout of the night. Now Joey Donnelly looking to get things going.
First baseman from Cal, number 17, Joey Donnelly.
And Donnelly got the day off yesterday, or 2 days ago. But against the Barons, went 1 for 5 with a strikeout. We saw him start the year off in the outfield, now at first base, and he's kind of seemed like he's found that home at first base.
Stanley fires first pitch low for ball 1. We've seen Joey Donnelly go on these streaks, kind of just like a roller coaster, up and down. Last game, 1 for 5, but the previous game, 2 for 5 with 2 RBIs and 2 doubles. He's ahead 1-0. It's that one placed beautifully for strike 1.
And you mentioned those doubles against the Foresters, and the game before against the Riptide also had a double. Had 3 doubles in his last 3 games after no doubles against the Barons on Tuesday. But he's a guy that has power. I mean, we almost saw him hit a home run in this ballpark earlier this season, one that we thought, both of us thought, got out. It was Jacob Shart, though, who hit the first home run of the season in Pasadena. That happened last game. Absolute no-doubter to right center field. And
nice little bat flip as behind in the count 1-2 is Donnelly. As that pitch inside, the count evened at 2. Talk about Andrew Stanley coming into tonight. 7 innings, 9 strikeouts, 2 walks, a 1.29 ERA. just made 4 appearances at Wagner as the 2-2 inside, and Donnelly works the count full. Just had 4 appearances at Wagner, 7.50 ERA in 6 innings, 2 strikeouts, 3 walks, and opponents batting .438 against him. It's the 3-2. That one slapped towards left field. That'll get down for extra bases as Joey Donnelly makes his way to second and the first base runner on the board. It's Joey Donnelly with a nice double.
Yeah, Donnelly, the doubles continue to pile up for him. He's been so good all season with those extra base hits. Now just his 4th double of the year. I mean, that's the best of the CCL, now tied for 2nd in CCL play in doubles. Presley Kosciuszko of the Walnut Creek Crawdads, he's got 5.
Now the right fielder, Ray Bermudez. Home run, 4 RBIs on the season for him. His last appearance came against these Barons. He went 0 for 3 with a walk. Now with a chance with a runner in scoring position, just 1 out. Stanley checks back on the runner.
But he's also a guy that's kind of gotten unlucky at the plate, too. He's made a lot of good contact that hasn't necessarily found gaps in the defense. You can see that by his .250 batting average on balls in play. A couple deep fly balls that just haven't quite tested outfields. But just going back to that hit by Donnelly, I mean, that's a beautiful piece of hitting. He's clearly not trying to hammer that baseball. He's looking to make good contact, makes good contact, lets it slice down into that left corner down there here in Jackie Robinson Field. And I mean, it's deep down there, so once you put a ball down there, it just goes.
The 0-1 outside for ball 1. Count now evened up. Bermudez was at Polk State College his last year. 309 batting average, 4 home runs, 47 RBIs, and a 392 on base. It's the 1-1. That one's connected on into left field. Joey Donnelly sent home, and an RBI single for Ray Bermudez. So after 4 up, 4 down for the Saints, they get back-to-back base runners. Now Nick Lazara, who's really picked it up as of late.
Yeah, just a great job by Ray Bermudez, just putting that over there towards the left side. Once again, putting the ball in play, and that's what he's done really well. It's just he hasn't found gaps. That time it does through the left side of the infield. Gets into left field for the base hit. Donnelly, smart base running. He's powering past second base. Comes around to score 4-1 ball game. And Nick Lazara, you mentioned how he's kind of been better of late. Big spot here trying to keep this offense going.
1 for 4 last game with a walk is a check back on Bermudez. Had 2 runs scored. Started the year batting just 100, 2 for 10. Batting average has now increased. Sorry, 1 for 10, I apologize. The batting average now increased to 222 on the year. First pitch on the outer half of the plate for strike 1. 333 on base percentage, though, for Lazara.
Yeah, and honestly, I think we might even expect it to maybe be even a little higher. I mean, he's a career 422 on base guy at Trinity University. And obviously, you know, the skill level of Trinity University is maybe the CCL is a little bit more challenging just with guys from maybe some Power 5 schools. Can I even say Power 5 schools anymore with the Pac-12 ending? I feel like we mentioned this at least once on every broadcast or maybe once on every 2 broadcasts, but it's now a Big 4 conferences.
The 0-1. That one hit to second base. Dylan Lena on to second for 1. On to first, double play to get out of the inning. So the Saints tack on 1, head to the top of the 3rd inning, still down 4-1. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 at the top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. The Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2. with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome back to Saints baseball. Evan Davis alongside Adam Beck, and the Saints get 1 run back in this one. Trail 4-1 as stepping up to the plate for the Academy Barons. The second baseman, Dylan Lena, who sac fly in his first at bat, still 0 for 11. Looking for his first hit in many games.
Yeah, I mean, he's even though he hasn't necessarily had those big hits since that 4-hit game, he has still reached base in 5 straight and still been a dangerous hitter in the middle of his lineup, batting in the 4 hole. He's got the power. He's able to really hammer the baseball as he fouls the first one down the left side.
Nunez delivered that first pitch strike. That one just outside for ball 1 as Lena held up on his check swing. Nunez has already surrendered 4 hits and 3 walks. Swing and a miss on that, just fouled off. Count now 1-2. The 1-2 offering to Lena, and that one blasted to center field. McChesney has to go back on it, and it's over his head off the wall. Lena will advance to second, and that ball was so close to getting out.
And McChesney just went over his head there. And we've mentioned the power of Dylan Lena, and he gets another double there, now up to 5, tying Presley Kosciuszko atop the CCL standings in terms of doubles.
It's the 5th hit surrendered by Michael Nunez. Now a runner in scoring position for Jack Burke, who grounded out to second in his first at-bat. That one in there for strike 1. It's a really nice play by Tyler Gordon to get Burke out. As Burke came into today, an average of .353 from the University of Houston, previously at Cypress College. As Nunez looks back on Lena, fires. That one will be sent to second baseman Tyler Gordon, who gets under that one to make the catch. So after a double to deep center field, Nunez responds with that all-important first out.
Yeah, and that was not a routine play by Tyler Gordon. You know, pop out towards second base, but the sun, you've got to think about the sun here. Sun's just starting to kind of lower over those trees, but it's still high enough where it really impacts the line of sight, especially when with those high fly balls, the ones you really got to track in the air. Gordon trying to finding it, found it just at the last second. Nice play by him. Made it look relatively easy, but that's a tough one.
Bring up Deuce Robinson, who had that infield single to third base. A nice play by Livingston to keep it a single. Came around to score on a passed ball. Headed the count 1-0. Came into today with a .250 batting average in 8 games, 4 RBIs. Rocking that USC helmet as that one popped up to the first base side. It's Joey Donnelly under that, and talk after that double that Nunez gave up. Responds with 2 quick outs, bringing up the third baseman Colin Taylor.
Yeah, and Taylor, dangerous hitter. We mentioned tied for second on the team in RBIs coming into today with 6 of them. But 11 strikeouts, 7 walks, just batting 156, yeah, in 9 games this year. This is his 10th game of the season. He's a guy that you can attack, but a guy who can definitely power the baseball.
Singled in his first at-bat past the diving Adrian Lopez. Came around to score on an RBI single by Evan Cornwell. The runner still remains on second. That's Dylan Lena, taking a pretty sizable lead. Nunez fires. Huge swing and a miss from Colin Taylor. See Tyler Gordon trying to keep Lena there at second. Nunez, 2 strikeouts so far, 3 walks, 6 hits through 2 2/3 innings. This is the 0-1. That one just gets low enough for strike 2. Nunez trying to keep the deficit within reach for the Saints, who have scored 6+ runs in all but 2 games this season. As swing and a miss for strike 3, and Taylor goes down on 3 pitches. Nunez strands the leadoff double at second. The Saints will head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, still trailing 4-1.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the 3rd base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio didn't get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the 1st inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Leading things off in the bottom of the 3rd inning, designated hitter Peter Wirth, who came in last game against the Sunrays as a defensive substitution, 0 for 1 with a pop-up to right field. Currently batting .273 on the year with a .467 on-base percentage. It was great to talk to him last game in the booth as that one outside for ball 1. Just a great guy.
Yeah, and we didn't even know he was going in later in the game, and that's something both of us went to talk to him about after, just jokingly. I mean, we wouldn't have kept you for so long. You get ready for your at-bat.
Kind of caught him off guard that he was going to be making an appearance.
Yeah, he just said, I wish I just had a hit, and then he wouldn't have really cared, but he flew out to right field instead.
That one swung on and missed, so the count 1-2. Stanley working on 1 strikeout, 2 hits, no walks through 2 innings. As Wirth swing and a miss for strike 3. And Wirth goes down swinging.
And now Tyler Gordon's first plate appearance in 10 days. Hasn't played for the Saints since June 11th against the Crawdads at home, where he went 0 for 2 with 2 walks, a hit by pitch, and an RBI. And he's a guy that at Miami of Ohio was an everyday player. 53 games started in 54 appearances, and only 7 extra base hits. Doesn't necessarily have that much power, but I just love him in the 9-hole in this lineup because he's not a traditional 9-hole hitter. He's a guy that really gives you some contact in the bottom of the lineup and really sets the table for the top.
Is that one fouled off. Count 0-2.
That was really close. I mean, that was like on the line right there. First base umpire had a beautiful view of it. I'll trust him down there. But if that ball gets past the first baseman, I mean, that's extra bases for sure.
Was at Vanguard University in 2023. Was the freshman of the year with a 344 batting average. Went to Miami University where he slashed 294, 350, and 360 with 25 RBIs in those 54 games played. Just played in 2 games this season. That one slapped right back to Stanley on to first, so 2 up, 2 down to get things going in the bottom of the third. And we saw Dante Samuto really cruise through this lineup as well. No earned runs through 6 innings. All his earned runs came via errors. And we're seeing now here with Stanley just really dominating, only 2 hits allowed through 2 2/3.
Yeah, Zamudio played really well the other day. I mean, you mentioned the 6 innings pitch, 7 hits allowed, but no earned runs. Those 3 runs coming off errors. 3 errors from the Barons in total, and 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. I mean, Zamudio really played well, and now Stanley has done a phenomenal job through this early going, just giving up that 1 run just an inning ago.
As Shart will line that to first base, but foul ball, so he'll get another crack at it. Shart lined up to Andrew Stanley. A nice defensive play by the pitcher. Coming into tonight, Shart batting .417 with a 708 slug, 4 RBIs. He's played in all but 1 game so far this season. He's kind of moved around the entire lineup, but now with the hot bat leading off. It's the pitch, that one down low.
And he's just been so impressive. If you just look at his last 5 games, I mean, slashing .545, .643, .818. He's on a 6-game hit streak with 10 hits in that stretch. Is atop the batting average leaderboard in the CCL among qualified batters. He's just been incredible for the Saints in the early season.
That one fouled back. The count now 2-2.
We mentioned how he hit a home run in the Saints' last game, and something he talked about after the game was, this is a quote, "I was mainly just trying to get a hit, honestly, put the ball in play." And on leading off, he's just saying that he's not trying to look to drive the ball anymore, but trying to help the team and get on base any way he can.
That one outside, so the count runs full. Talk about Jacob Shart, 1 home run, 7 RBIs. Just doing an incredible job. It's a 3-2. That one's connected onto second baseman Dylan Lena. On to first, and another 1-2-3 inning for Andrew Stanley. We'll head to the top of the 4th inning with the Saints still trailing 4-1. Evan Davis, Adam Beck bringing you Saints baseball. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the 1st inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio didn't get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the 1st inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome you to the top of the 4th inning. And a pitching change here for the Saints as stepping on the mound is number 19.
Now pitching for the Saints, number 19,
Elijah Hernandez making another appearance.
Leading off the top of the fourth for the Barons.
3 innings pitched so far for him, 3 Ks, 2 walks, a 3 ERA. Because Nunez's night is done after 3 innings. 3 strikeouts, 3 walks, 6 hits, 4 runs. As that first pitch, beautiful play by Livingston at third, on to first to Joey Donnelly in time. What a web gem play.
Excellent play by Josh Livingston at third. I mean, he's sprawling out on the floor, trying to get that play, gets it in his glove, and from his knees chucks it across the diamond to first base. Doesn't necessarily have the most power in that arm over there at third, but is able to get the job done. Really, really impressive stuff by Livingston. And we mentioned earlier in this game he couldn't really throw out Deuce Robinson because Robinson was beaming down the line, but that time gets that play to go.
His first pitch swinging. Foul ball for Andy Cisneros Jr., who struck out on a foul tip in his first at-bat. Came into today just batting 111 on the season, but with 4 RBIs.
Yeah, and I like the Saints going to Hernandez here. You know, Nunez struggling through those first 3 innings and was kind of behind in a lot of counts, couldn't really locate, obviously gave up those 4 runs too, and just really tough for him, I think, to get going so far in things today. So good to see the Saints kind of switch things up here with Hernandez. Gets the first 2 outs of the inning.
That one belted to Lopez. Quick speed by Cisneros Jr., but quickly 2 up and 2 down for Elijah Hernandez. We'll bring up the top of the order now with Evan Cornwell.
And also good to see Adrian Lopez make a nice strong throw over to first base. We've seen him really struggle so far this season defensively. Already 6 errors in 7 games. Picked up an error earlier in this game on a throwing error to third base, but now makes that play. Let's see if he can recenter himself. It's really been something that we've tracked the entire season with Adrian Lopez. Yes, we know he's got the offensive talent. We know he can hammer the baseball, but it's can he stop the strikeouts? Can he play well defensively? So far, those last 2 things have been iffy, but good throw there.
Cornwell stepping up for the 3rd time. Walk and stole a base in his first at-bat. Had an RBI single in his second at-bat. Ended up advancing to second on the throwing error from Lopez. Quickly behind 0-2. Last game against the Riptide, 2 for 6 with a double, 3 strikeouts. As Hernandez trying to work a 1-2-3. A pitch down low for ball 1.
Cornwell was originally at Delaware. He's transferring to Post University from there. That happened. He played at Delaware in 2021.
Is that one outside? Cornwell evens the count.
You don't see a ton of guys from the East Coast in the CCL, but Cornwell, one of the few from New Jersey, as you mentioned earlier in the broadcast.
It's the 2-2. That one just slapped foul, so count will remain the same. Saints came back from down 4-0 the last time these 2 teams met. Dominated the Sunrays in their last game 11-4. It's the 2-2. Down low, the count now runs full. So Cornwell now working this into a hitter's count after being down quickly 0-2.
He's still got 12 strikeouts on the year, one of the top 10 in the CCL coming into this game. So expect Hernandez to be aggressive here.
Cornwell walked in his first at-bat. It's a 3-2. That one belted to first baseman Joey Donnelly, who flips that one onto Hernandez in a 1-2-3 inning for the Saints. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning with the Saints still trailing by 3. Evan Davis, Adam Beck, Saints baseball coming back. Leading things off for the Saints, we got 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up. It's Crew McChesney, who batted ninth in the team's last game against the Sunrays here at Jackie Robinson Field. Now elevates to the 2 spot after returning last game from an oblique injury. Grounded out to first on the first pitch he saw from Andrew Stanley, who's currently still on the mound. So that pitch down low for ball 1.
And when I mentioned earlier in this game about the way this lineup was oriented and the kind of the construction of the lineup, I really like having McChesney in the 2-hole because, right, you end the last inning 8-9-1, and you're now 2-3-4 up. But McChesney is basically a leadoff hitter anyway. Started the year as the leadoff hitter for this Saints team, and it's just such a talented batter in the batter's box, and just waiting for that hit to get him going.
Currently working with a .391 on-base percentage. It's that foul ball hit into the Barons' dugouts. The count now 2-1. Stanley just allowing 2 hits so far through 3 innings. That one outside. Has yet to issue a walk in this game. 2 strikeouts, 1 earned run. Started off with that Joey Donnelly double. And then Ray Bermudez bringing him home as McChesney fouls that one off, so the count runs full. McChesney in his last game, 1 for 3 with a walk. In a small sample size at BYU, led the team in batting average, slugging, and OBP. The .340, .547, .478 slash line. There's the 3-2 from Stanley. That one in there, and strike 3. McChesney was ready to throw his bat to walk to first, and Stanley gets him looking.
I mean, Stanley's dealing right now, inside, outside, really locating those pitches incredibly well. That time going inside on McChesney. McChesney thought it was low and in, but just nibbled at the corner, and it brings up Josh Livingston here in the 3-hole, who last time he was up flew out to second base.
He's already made a few really nice plays over there at third. As that first pitch down low. And the fly out to second base to Dylan Lena. Last game came against these Barons, 1 for 3 with a walk and a strikeout. Had the day off in their last game against the Sunrays as a swing and a miss there. The count 1-1. From Wichita State University, 28 games played, .253 batting average. Monstrous end to the season as that one is connected high into center field. That's Jack Burke under it to make the play. 2 outs for the Saints. It's the shortstop Adrian Lopez looking to get the offense alive.
Yeah, struck out in that first at-bat, and I mean, he struck out in over 30% of his plate appearances this young CCL season, so not necessarily surprised that starts things off with the strikeout looking, but it's been about his response in a lot of games. Against the Sunrays last time out, when 1 for 2 had a strikeout, but also had 2 walks, had an RBI. He fouls that first one off. Even against the Barons, right? Went 2 for 3, a walk, 2 RBIs, and had that 2-run home run to left field in the 6th inning to really kickstart the Saints offense. Can he kickstart the Saints offense here?
Stanley dealing so far through 3 2/3, 3 strikeouts, no walks. As Lopez hits it right to the shortstop, Evan Cornwell. So another 1-2-3 inning for Stanley. We'll head to the top of the 5th inning with the Saints still looking for offense.
three, 1, 2, 3, hey!
Elijah Hernandez back on the mound for his second inning of work. Got a 1-2-3 inning. The first clean inning of the game so far for the Saints, as leading things off is the designated hitter for tonight, Zach Freeman, who's 1 for 2, had a single to right, RBI single to right field, was tagged out, trying to advance to second as he fouls back to first, pitch he sees in his third at-bat.
Yeah, and we've talked about Freeman being a really, dangerous player. And starting off here in the fifth, trying to get things going for this Barons team, but I mean, this is a tough lineup to face, and I mean, this is a Saints squad that's going to get very familiar with the Barons this season. Their middle 4 or 5 guys are just so capable at any moment. It's just they haven't been able to really string together these long winning streaks. I mean, currently right now they're really struggling on a 4-game losing streak. This is only their second game on the road, though.
Lucky Ducks for them.
Yeah, they've been chilling in Compton for 10 games so far this season.
So that one was sent foul down the first base line, a 1-2 count. That one way outside. The count now 2-2. Hernandez just working basically the ground balls. Got 3 outs, flyouts and ground balls. Not known for his strikeout ability, but just able to get the out. He makes me eat my words as a strike swinging for Zach Freeman, who's now 1 for 3.
And I really like the mentality there by Elijah Hernandez, just attacking Freeman, unafraid of the dangerous hitter, and that's his 4th strikeout of the season so far, his first of the game.
Dylan Kordick now steps into the box for the 3rd time. 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging his last at-bat.
Reached base on that walk. That was the second time he's reached base this season after the walk yesterday. Just his second appearance of the CCL campaign. I mean, he's still got guys trickling in even this late into June. It's just kind of the way that summer ball is.
Quickly behind 0-2. Hernandez so far 4 up, 4 down. Through an inning and a third. Saints struggling to find that offensive gear as Andrew Stanley has just been dealing. It's the 0-2 count. That one way down low. And 1-2.
And you mentioned Andrew Stanley dealing, but it's also kind of been a theme throughout this Saints season so far has been the pitching has kept the Saints in games. It's never really lost any games for this squad. And even against the Foresters in that 12-11 game, I wouldn't even say the pitching was at fault. It was more the defensive mishaps and the defensive miscues from, moments throughout that Saturday afternoon last week. But, yeah, it's just at this point in the game, down 3 runs. You're still in the middle part of this game. Still a lot of baseball to be played. You just need the pitching to keep the game within reach.
Is that one? Strike 3. Looked like the ump was really questioning whether or not to throw his hands and call the strike. So now Hernandez 5 up, 5 down. And that's now back-to-back strikeouts for Dylan Kordick.
And out of the pen especially, we've seen a lot of Saints pitchers struggle getting that final out of an inning. And that's just kind of been almost the issue with these pitchers at times. It's been really solid first 2 outs of an inning, can't really close out things. Let's see if Hernandez can do it in back-to-back innings here.
Lena 1 for 1 with a sac fly to Ray Bermudez, and then tattooed a double over the head of Crew McChesney. That went off the wall. Behind 0-1. Hits that to Lopez, who bobbles that. So Lena will advance to first.
And that's another play that just kind of eats up Adrian Lopez. It'll probably be ruled a hit just because of how hard that was hit. We're getting the confirmation it was. But just right at Lopez, you almost wish he comes up with a play there. You almost expect him to. But that was rocketed right at him, and it would have been a tough play.
So now Stepping up the center fielder, Jack Burke. 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop-up, both into the glove of Tyler Gordon, the second baseman. Coming into tonight, Burke, .353 batting average in 5 games, 6 hits, 3 for extra bases. Is that one outside 2-0?
And we mentioned struggling to get that final out of an inning. You give up the hard hit single right at Adrian Lopez, and now down 2-0 in the count to Jack Burke, who's arguably one of the most dangerous hitters on this team.
Hernandez gets a strike on that. No advancement from Dylan Lena on the semi-pass ball. Call it just went out of the glove of Nick Lazara, who's the backstop for tonight. Alex Burge getting some rest. As Hernandez checking back on Lena. Will fire the 2-1. That one check swing. Just right near the Barons dugout. So Hernandez gets himself back into the count, now 2-2. Hernandez already working on 2 strikeouts, both in this inning. It's the 2-2, 2 outs. That one just outside, the count runs full.
Yeah, and he went to the breaking ball there. Tried to go off speed, and just outside. But that was a really good pitch, and I think that's a confident pitch there from Hernandez, trying to spin that baseball in there for a strike.
It's the 3-2. That one popped up, sent foul. Almost hit us.
Yeah, just a little bit over to the left of us. But, yeah, it's really tough to see those foul balls that come up in the air right behind home plate, because we've got the canopy that kind of blocks our view of, like, the upper echelons.
They'll do it again, 3-2. That pitch outside. So after 2 quick outs via the strikeout, Hernandez has now allowed the next 2 batters, as Jack Burke is on base for the first time. Bring up the right fielder, Deuce Robinson. 1 for 2 with that infield single and a pop-up.
And Robinson's a guy who just hit his first extra base hit of the season yesterday against the Riptide. It was a triple. And this would be another big moment for Robinson here, especially, once again, extending innings. And the Barons have done that excellently today. They've really been smart at the dish. They've extended at-bats. They've gotten into deep counts. They've walked the bases. And it's put pressure on the Saints defense. And here with, after 2 outs, nobody on, and now 2 outs, 2 on with a dangerous hitter here in the 6 hole in the lineup. This is a must get out here if you want to have a chance at staying around in this game. Right now, the deficit at 3 for Arroyo Seco.
Hernandez checks back on the runner at second, and that one just down low, 1-0. Saints just trying to get out of this inning, keep the deficit at 3, top of the 5th inning. Deuce Robinson, the multi-sport athlete at USC, slaps one right off Hernandez. Livingston will just hold that one. So another infield hit for Deuce Robinson. Now the base is full for Colin Taylor.
And that's one that Hernandez will fill tomorrow as we get a little meeting in the middle. But, yeah, smart play by Josh Livingston to not throw that over to first base, because Deuce Robinson has way too much speed down there. It looks like, he's getting off the line of scrimmage down there. But, Livingston's still a really nice job to barehand that, pick that ball up, settle things down. Hernandez is going to definitely wake up with a little bruise tomorrow, but keeping runs off the scoreboard, just had to take that one off the back, maybe the side of the ribs. But I'll get a couple warm-ups to just make sure everything's okay. Scary moment, though, for sure, as Robinson hammered that right off Hernandez.
Looks fine in his warm-up pitches, and he'll stay on the mound. And now Colin Taylor, the third baseman, with the bases loaded. 1 for 2, single to short, and scored on an RBI single by Evan Cornwell, and then struck out swinging in his last at-bat. But a prime opportunity, 6 RBIs on the season, came in today batting 156. From Lake Balboa, California. It was at Los Angeles Valley City College. Already in his 3rd at-bat in the 5th inning. As Hernandez in a tough spot. The first pitch swung on and missed for strike one.
Yeah, that's a big first strike, especially with the bases loaded. You don't want to be behind the count. You don't want to have to try and throw strikes. You want to get ahead and then, really attack these batters. And so a huge first pitch strike, just gunning it down Main Street.
Hernandez fired the 0-1. That one fouled back, so the count now quickly 0-2. Saints mentioned the offense has never been an issue really for this team to start the year. Currently 6-2 on the season with 6+ runs in 6 of those 8 games. And when they win, they put up a ton of runs. As the 0-2, that one swung on and missed. A huge strike 3 for Elijah Hernandez. Gets all 3 of his outs via the strikeout. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning with the Saints still down 3.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Leading things off for the Arroyo Seco Saints in the bottom half of the 5th inning is not the first baseman, Joey Donnelly, who doubled to deep left field in his first at-bat. Came around to score on the Ray Bermudez single. Came into tonight batting .318, now a team-leading 10 runs scored, as Andrew Stanley still working on the mound, gets a first pitch strike.
I mean, Stanley has been dominant, and we knew we were going to expect to see some good stuff from him, a 1.28 ERA coming into things, leading the Barons in terms of qualified pitchers in ERA, and, he's been really impressive today. Just striking guys out, keeping the ball out of dangerous places, being ahead in counts, now up 0-2 in this one here, and just attacking these Saints batters. He's really kept this Arroyo Seco offense off balance.
Is the 0-2 from Stanley. That one just popped up to the third base side. Should be an easy play for Taylor, who's called off by the shortstop, Evan Cornwell. So 1 up, 1 down for Stanley.
Now that brings Ray Bermudez up, who had that RBI single that brought in Donnelly home back earlier in this game. But this is a moment where I think Ray Bermudez, he's got the ability to change a game with a swing of the bat. And, a big hit here. Obviously had the home run that kept the Saints within 1 in Santa Barbara earlier this week on Saturday up there against the Foresters. But he's really got a lot of power in his swing. If he can lace an extra base hit here, it could really change the momentum of this ballgame.
First pitch swinging strike for Bermudez. Came into tonight on the season batting 5 for 22, good enough for a .227 batting average. A home run and 4 RBIs is quickly behind the count 0-2. And Andrew Stanley has just been putting on a clinic through 4 1/3. He waves off first 2 pitches. That one Be on the outside part of the plate for ball 1.
Yeah, now 1-2 to Bermudez, and he's a guy that struggled with strikeouts at times too. Almost 20% of his at-bats strikeouts, 18.5% coming into today.
Is that one swing and a miss for strike 3, so that's 4 strikeouts on the evening for Andrew Stanley. With Nick Lazara due up for the Saints. The backstop for tonight's game, who grounded out into a double play in his first at-bat. Stanley fires that one down low. 1-0. Lazaro was batting 100 early on in the season. Now the average up to 222 as that 1-0 count outside, so quickly headed the count 2-0. Zara just 1 RBI on the season. Is that one in there for strike 1?
And even when Stanley's behind in counts, right? He's behind 2-0, throws a great strike on the outer half. I mean, his ability to come back, so impressive.
Is that one in there for strike 2? So the count quickly evened up.
And you can just feel the confidence on the bump for him. I mean, every single time he's throwing that, he's shaking off pitches, he's getting into his windup.
Is that one fouled back, so the count remains 2-2. Saints just 1 run so far in this game, as we repeatedly say how Andrew Stanley is dealing just 2 hits through 4 2/3 innings, the 1 extra base hit and the single from Donnelly. But since then he's been excellent. Is that one swing and a miss for strike 3, and Stanley now working on 5 strikeouts through 5 innings. Another 1-2-3 inning for the right-handed pitcher. We head to the top of the 6th inning. The score remains the same, 4-1. New pitcher on the mound for the Saints, number 34, Jace Presley. And joining us now in the broadcast booth is Cam Conley, designated hitter, but in his last game against the Sunrays, getting that first start at second base. So I guess the first question we got to ask is, how's the arm feeling?
Oh, it's feeling great. Coming back from TJ, it was a really long recovery. I mean, longer than I anticipated, but it felt really good getting back out there and, you know, being in the field again.
Last game, we talked to Peter Worth in the 6th, 7th inning, and Didn't know that he was going to go in later in the game. Any chance that you're going to get a little pinch hit opportunity potentially? Because just a good thing to keep in the back of the mind. Maybe talk through kind of your perspective at the plate. But yeah, definitely don't want to keep you too long.
Oh yeah, no, always a possibility. Always a possibility. So I'm hoping I do.
So you Pepperdine University, it's where you've been at, and what are you looking forward to in this upcoming season now that you are fully healthy with that right arm?
Yeah, I mean, definitely getting back out there, playing some ball, and I don't know if you know, we just got a brand new head coach, Tyler Latour from Westmont. Super looking forward to what he's going to do for the program, and yeah, just looking forward to getting back out there.
And I'm not from California originally, and one of the first off days, I was like, got to go to Malibu, right? Got to check out Pepperdine. I mean, the views are unbelievable. I mean, is that kind of what sold you on the school, or was obviously the opportunity to play baseball in Southern California, awesome, but come on, I mean, like, those views are unreal.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, views, I mean, they definitely helped. Definitely, like, really attractive, part of the school. But I loved how Pepperdine was a faith-based school, and I'm really big on my faith, and that was kind of the thing that sold me.
So from Pennsylvania, were there any schools in the East Coast that you were really looking at, or was it always just try to find the West Coast, get some warm weather in there?
No, so my recruiting process was pretty hectic. I was committed to Army West Point first, and then didn't work out. And second time around, I committed to Georgetown University, and then, you know what, new coaching staff comes in, didn't work out, and then lastly, opened up all over, not just on the East Coast, but Pepperdine was it. I love it. It's home.
Third time's a charm.
Yeah.
Third time is a charm. And
that's right.
I mean, the start to the CCL season for you, I mean, you've been one of the best hitters in the lineup so far. Team leader in RBIs, tied for fourth in the CCL in RBIs. How has it been just trying to, obviously trying to work back from TJ, but also early on success at the plate, finding big hits and big moments and just kind of being a staple in that 2 spot in the lineup?
Yeah, I mean, not being able to play this past season, I mean, obviously was, it's tough. And coming here, I've been grateful. I've played every game so far, just, getting some at-bats under my belt, especially now playing the field, getting those fielding reps. But as far as hitting goes, I mean, just being comfortable, being an athlete and doing what I do,
I mean, what's the mentality? It's something, obviously, I've noticed, got the notes right here, but you've got an 8-game on-base streak. You've reached base in every single game so far this season, and obviously that's more than hits. That's putting good at-bats together. Is that something that is kind of preached together in the clubhouse in terms of, I mean, there's so many guys. You look at a guy like Alex Burge, who seemingly finds a walk every single game. Is it kind of almost other guys are doing it, you're doing it too, it kind of feeds itself? I mean, we've mentioned on the broadcast the offensive success so far this season, maybe not in this game, but is it kind of just infectious?
Absolutely. Surrounding yourself, with the great players we got is definitely motivating for me.
And, it's uncommon for an infielder to have Tommy John. We usually see that as a pitcher's injury, just given the amount that they're throwing. But how did it happen? And I've always wanted to know, because as a viewer, you could tell immediately when a guy blows his arm out. But did you know right away that it was going to be that serious?
Yeah, so I was actually working with my pitching coach at school, just working on ball spin from the infield. And I did it then, so just loud pop, nothing good. Knew it right away.
The recovery process, it's very grueling. Like, for those who don't know, you're basically out a year, which happened with you. It's usually like 8 to 12 months before you
Right.
can really start going again. So just mentally, if you don't mind me asking, was it hard at times, just wondering if you're ever going to be able to get back to yourself?
Absolutely. It's definitely tough, but, I mean, being physical is only half the game. The other half's mental, and I feel like I'm pretty good at that. So,
is there anyone that you turn to just for advice on how to just handle the whole recovery process? Like any coaches, former coaches?
I mean, my family is really supportive. My friends are really supportive. I definitely have a really good team. I got a whole army behind me, and I was really grateful for that. But I mean, just people in my life just keeping me happy. It's awesome. Made it super easy.
That's awesome to hear, and obviously it's good to see you back in the field, getting your first reps over there. But we've kind of asked a little bit of, every player we've talked to this, but in terms of walk-up songs, right? And we've gotten some differing opinions on things. Any ones that you're really pro, any ones you're really like anti, any ones like you just kind of like bug the guys. You're like, come on, dude. Like, what do you plan as your walk-up song here?
I really like Nick's walk-up song because we call him Olive Garden. He's super Italian. What just happened?
The first base umpire just got rocketed by a foul ball. I've never seen that.
Right, I think right in the side of maybe like the stomach, rib, any lower, and that's really scary.
Wow, all the fans are really loving that one.
Oh my, I have never seen that, but thank God I love the effort on the play too by him just to let everyone know that it's still a foul ball, but he took that one right off the side. Strike one still.
Interesting. We've got a Nick Lazaro walk-up fan because Peter Worth, on the other hand, was very like, come on, like what's going on here with Lazaro's walk-up song? But it's good to hear that someone's supportive of him.
Oh yeah,
it's good. It's good to know.
I'm living for it.
Because we also heard that you guys call Nick Lazaro the Godfather.
Oh yeah, when we play Mafia on the bus, he's the Godfather. He's also very Italian.
Yeah, well, hence the walk-up song.
And the name.
Yeah.
And the Godfather.
And the Godfather.
There you go. And obviously on the bus, team bus, you get play Mafia. You get even being around the team, not necessarily being in there. We've felt the camaraderie among you guys, and it's something that players have talked about and referenced from time to time. But, I mean, what's it like, obviously, in your first season with the Saints this year, kind of trying to mesh with these new guys, gel with them? What's that process been like?
I mean, it's not forced at all. I mean, we're just a bunch of dudes with sharing the same goal, same vision, playing the same game, and I don't know. I really think we mesh together really well, and it's really awesome to see.
Do you have any roommates in the housing, or like a group that you stick with, like on off days or anything like that?
I live at school, but on my off days, I invite some of the guys over.
Oh, you're still just commute from school?
Yeah.
Ah, interesting. And how's that commute like?
It's about like an hour and 10 minutes every day, 40 minutes on the way home. Not too bad.
I mean, this LA traffic is unreal.
It is.
Zach Freeman swings through that strike, and bring a little bit maybe more of popular culture into things. But recently, I think it was on a podcast, but Micah Parsons said that the Dallas Cowboys linebacker is putting up multiple sacks in a season. He's ridiculous, all defensive player. He said that if he was playing baseball, he'd be hitting 200. What are your thoughts on that?
That's a terrible take. There's no way. I mean, he is a great athlete, but there's no way.
Like he said, he could get at least in 200 at bats. He could get at least 5 hits, maybe 5 bunt singles, but
there's just no way.
I just think. Well, we'll ask you. I think people. I play baseball, and that's the level you guys play right now. But I think people underestimate how hard it is to actually put bat to ball, because these pitchers are no joke.
Yeah, no, I definitely think that's a really, really cold take for sure. There's no way.
You think it's just that Cowboys mindset?
Oh yeah.
Ball
Definitely.
gets past Lazaro there. Score 2 runs as Saints find themselves in quite a pickle now. But Cam, it's been great talking to you. Really happy that you're able to kind of get back from TJ, get back into the field, make some really good plays so far this season, for this Saints squad, and, wish you all the best of luck the rest of the way.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me.
You. That was a double by Dylan Kordick into left center field. That was number 5, Cam Conley, joining us for a quick chat. Was designated hitter for his first 8 games, then played second base in the most recent game in that 11-4 win against the Sunrays, as the Saints find themselves down 6-1. 0-1 count to Dylan Lena, the second baseman, who's 2 for 2, as that one's roped to Livingston, unable to corral it, and that'll be another run. So Lena advances to first on the error by Livingston, and the lead now balloons to 7-1 for the Barons.
Yeah, and it's the defensive miscues, the defensive issues, and it's kind of been a trend, at times throughout the season. tough moments and tough situations, haven't been able to get the defensive bounces to fall their way. And that time, tough play down that left side. And now the Saints, I mean, the offense is going to have to come back here because the pitching has not been as strong as it's needed to be to keep this game really tight.
That one in there for strike one. Jace Presley entering into the portal, was at GCU but just didn't make an appearance. Is that one in there again? So the count now 0-2. The Barons lead 7-1 in the top of the 6th inning. With Jack Burke up, that pitch outside, he holds up. Count now 1-2. Burke is 0 for 2 on the night with a ground out, a pop out, and a walk in his last at bat. Came in batting a scorching .353 as he works the count even at 2-2.
Yeah, and I mean, I really just feel like this Barons squad, there's just too many guys that can swing the bat well for them to continue the tough games that they've had. I mean, they put up 9 runs yesterday. This is a squad that can score.
The error by Lopez will send Burke to second. Lena goes to third. And the Saints unable to get that third out.
And that's just continuing to make mistakes. Adrian Lopez, such a tough start to the year at shortstop. Just defensively, I mean, you can tell that he's got the athletic abilities. You can tell that he's able to make these plays and make these reads. And I mean, he's 6'3", super athletic. We've seen him swing the bat well. It's just he's not been able to make the defensive stops to get this team out of innings. And tough play, crossbody. Joey Donnelly unable to make the pick at first base, too. But it's just so many these compounding errors defensively. And we came in today maybe expecting that from the Barons. This is a Barons team that's led the CCL in errors, but just has not gone the Saints' way just with these defensive bounces, hops, and issues.
It's a quick chat on the mound with Jace Presley as Deuce Robinson steps up for the 4th time. 2 infield singles. That last one scorched off Elijah Hernandez, who remained in the game. Had his first infield single to third base as Livingston kept that one in the infield and had a pop up to first in his second at bat. First pitch in there for strike one. And if we don't hear from Adam the rest of the night, it's because his Florida Panthers, who were up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final, have now pulled the Toronto Maple Leafs and head to a Game 7 on Monday night.
Yeah, it's going to be a little sketchy Monday night. I'll be honest. But I've got the beard right now. I've got the playoff beard going. I think we might need a change of mojo, so I might have to shave that tonight. And tough looks, but Game 7 as Robinson swings through that one, gets the Saints out of the inning, but not before that damage is done on the scoreboard. 7-1 the score here in Pasadena.
Jace Presley records his first strikeout of the game. The Saints head to the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing 6, looking for any sort of offense. Andrew Stanley dominating still on the mound. Bottom half of the 6th inning underway, and a first pitch, first out for Peter Worth, who just angry with himself as he heads back to the dugout.
Second baseman, number 23.
Next up for the Saints, number 23, Tyler Gordon.
And we've talked about Andrew Stanley really keeping, these batters off balance, out of the game. Really, I mean, this is only his second time through the order, right? Tyler Gordon, the 9-hole hitter. I mean, we're in the 1 out away in the 6th inning. I mean, he's done a fantastic job just staying on top of pitches, locating really well that time, trying to go outside. He's working quickly too. And you work quickly when you're confident.
So 1-1. That one outside for ball 2.
But you can also tell from the way he's pitching, right? He gets off the mound. He's got this swagger to him. I mean, he's just pitching with so much confidence.
Has a hard swing and a miss for Gordon. The count now evened up at 2. From Miami University, 54 games, started in 53 of those, 294 average, as that one is connected on into center field. That'll drop for a base hit. And the first base runner since the 3rd inning for the Saints.
Left fielder, number 14.
Yeah, and just a good piece of hitting, right? You got to find one way to get on base, right? The Saints have been so aggressive all season long trying to run the base paths, leading the CCL coming today in terms of stolen bases. And you almost have to wonder, six-run game. You probably don't want to start stealing bags, but you do got to get aggressive here. You got to mount some sort of offensive pursuit and try and rattle Stanley. He's ready throwing over to first. Maybe you get Gordon dance a little bit. Maybe you try and get in Stanley's mind here. Try and run a walk here if you're Sharp. You got to load these base runners back on top of each other, and really put good at bats together to try and just chip away at this lead.
Gordon dancing on first as the first pitch outside for ball 1. Sharp 0 for 2 in this one. Had a line out to the pitcher, Andrew Stanley, in his first at-bat. Grounded out to second base in his second at-bat. Just 1 for 6 in his last 6 plate appearances. Had the 3-run no-doubter in the game against the Sunrays. That was his lone hit. Quickly ahead of the count, 0-2. And if we have any experience from that game against the Santa Barbara Foresters, it's that no lead is too big. Saints were up 8-2, unfortunately losing 12-11. Find themselves in a 7-1 hole in the bottom of the 6th inning, 1 out. So throw back to first, but Gordon gets back quickly.
And you can even tell just in these first couple little pitches here, the first moments with Gordon on first base. I mean, Stanley is really focused in on Gordon over there. And yes, he's got the ability to snag a bag or so, dancing off the bag there.
So that pitch low and away. So the count 3-0.
But you can also tell that it's kind of affected Stanley's ability to throw strikes here now. Short up 3-0 in the count. I'd be surprised if he even moves the bat off his shoulders here. I mean, of course, you got to stay aggressive. If you see a pitch you like, you might as well make a swing at it. But, 3-0 count. Stanley still focused on Gordon over there at first base.
It's 3 throwbacks to first base. As Sharp is ahead of the count, 3-0. 1191 OPS coming into today's game. As that pitch just gets the outer half of the plate for strike 1.
And Stanley's really worked both sides of the plate incredibly well. That time going outside to the lefty Sharp.
Three and one out as yet another throwback to first base. You just wonder the aggressiveness by Stanley with a 7-1 advantage. You don't want to pass ball getting involved or anything. Just focus on the batter with such a comfortable lead as he throws back yet again. So make it the 5th time in this at-bat. And CCL, if you want to make a rule about how many throwbacks, can you please insert it, because Andrew Stanley is getting a little too worried.
Gordon, really got off the bag there. And, I thought it was a walk. Sharp thought it was a walk too. Almost went with the bat flip, and now full count 3-2, and that's just the way Stanley's been able to play all day, right? Even if he's been behind in counts, he's been able to find the strikes, get the calls. And now full count here, you expect maybe even honestly Gordon to go here.
3-2. Another check back to first.
It's like watching Brian Harmon warm up for a golf swing. Just the amount of waggles that Harmon does, it irritates the viewer. And it's almost, like Andrew Stanley here, just throwing back to first every single time. Gives me Brian Harmon vibes.
Is that one slapped foul towards the Saints dugout, so the count remains 3-2. Saints have really made Stanley work through these 5 1/3 inning pitched so far. 49 strikes to 25 balls. The ERA still sub-2 at 169. So we're about to have the 7th pitch of the at-bat underway. That one belted foul. Stanley will now meet Sharp for the 9th pitch, or the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Talked about how his dominance came into the game. 7 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, a 1.28 ERA. As he throws back again to first, Gordon gets back in safely. Saints still trailing by half a dozen in this one. Bottom 6th, 3-2 count. Fixing to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. The Saints really working Stanley. And the pitch down low, ball 4. What an at-bat that was by Jacob Sharp as Andrew Stanley issues his first walk of the game.
Essentially threw like 15 pitches there, throwing over to first base 18 million times. But eventually, Sharp still doing his job, getting onto first base. They'll get a little meeting here on the bump for Stanley. And, now Sharp continuing his strong play to the season. I mean, he came in today with a 6-game hit streak. Hasn't had a hit yet, but now a 7-game on-base streak. With that, he's only played in 7 games. He's really found ways to get on base, and that's why he's at the top of the lineup. I'll be curious maybe if he, comes back, continues the season at the top of the lineup. Obviously, he started the season off in the lower half of the lineup, trying to find his way, but his strong play, you had to play him over there in left field. And now Crew McChesney, who started the year as the leadoff guy, now in a big spot here with 2 on, 1 out, and one swing here, maybe an extra base hit. You've got this game right back into a 1-swing ball game. But, a lot of work to do for the Saints. But, one batter on, you get the next one on, you get McChesney, bring up Livingston on deck now, and then obviously a big power hit, Adrian Lopez in the hole. Can't get ahead of yourself here, but got to string good at-bats together. 2 good at-bats back-to-back, now trying to make it 3 in a row.
McChesney swings at the off-speed for strike 1. Is Andrew Stanley working on his 78th pitch of the game, 5 1/3 innings so far in this one with 4 strikeouts. Runners on first and second, just 1 out. Stanley steps off the mound.
He's really taking a sweet time, isn't he?
McChesney batting .263 on the season, 5 for 19, no home runs, just 1 RBI. As he throws back now to second. Maybe Tyler Gordon said something to him, and now he's just trying to pick him off at every chance he can get.
Gordon only had 8 stolen bases at Miami of Ohio in 54 games played in 2024. So, I mean, he's a guy that can steal a bag. He's a guy that has some speed, but he's not necessarily a guy that you need to be this worried about. And especially, it doesn't even make that much sense for the Saints, who have been aggressive. Maybe they try a little double steal action here. Got some speed on the base pads. But you're down six runs, right? You only have so many outs to play with at this point. You've got 11 outs to play with. And you can't really be taking huge aggressive leads and just aggressive, strategy in a game where you're down this many runs and you kind of the risk reward of getting an extra 90 feet isn't worth it in a way.
Count now 1-2 to McChesney, who's looking to drive in his second run of the year. 0 for 2 with a strikeout in his last at-bat. Swing and a miss for strike 3. And that's Stanley's 5th strikeout of the evening. As Josh Livingston will step up to the plate, trying to get some run support The Saints' lone run came in the bottom of the third inning, courtesy of a Josh Livingston double. I'm sorry, a Joey Donnelly double and a Ray Bermudez single.
And Livingston, I mean, this is a guy that only has 1 RBI on the season, and we were really expecting more from him. Now this is his 7th appearance in that Saints uniform. Another weird uniform matchup today between these two teams. Last game in Compton on Tuesday, it was the Saints wearing navy blue and the Barons wearing blue with white on the shoulders. And today it's the Saints in white at home in their Pasadena uniforms and the Barons in gray. So these teams have clearly not communicated well in terms of what to wear.
That pitch in there for strike 1.
Livingston 0 for 2 today, flew out both of his times. I guess it was a pop out in the first inning to the second baseman, Dylan Lena.
It's the 0-1 pitch. Stanley working on some superb efforts here as that pitch outside for ball 1. So the count evened up.
That time working the inside part of the plate, and 1-1 count for Livingston. And this is somewhere where you really got to be aggressive and try and put this ball into play.
It's the 1-1 swing and a miss for strike 2.
That time chasing that one on the outer half. I don't even know if it would have cut the strike zone, but Livingston went after it. He took the aggressive mindset and mentality and did not get the contact. And now he's in a pickle here. 1-2 count, 2 outs, 2 on. Saints trying to salvage these base runners. You can't leave them on when you're down 6 runs.
Stanley waiting for his pitch. The 1-2 count. He checks back on the runner at second. Saints usually don't see a lack of runs, but sometimes just not your day at the ballpark. And today, so far, that's been the day as the 1-2 outside, the count evened up for Livingston. 2 flyouts, 1 to second, 1 to center. In for his 3rd at-bat of the night. Has a chance to pick up his 2nd RBI of the season and jumpstart a 2-out rally in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Stanley sets and fires the 2-2, that one just slapped back foul, so the count remains. Saints 6-2 on the season, facing an Academy Barons team that we've mentioned has been struggling as of late. Blew a 4-0 lead to the Saints just a few days ago, losing 5-4 at home. As Stanley trying to put in 6 solid innings as the 2-2 outside, the count runs full.
And it's good at bat from Josh Livingston. I mean, he's really struggled in the last couple of games with strikeouts, trying to find his way on base, but he's putting good at-bats together. He's getting good looks. He's getting good opportunities. Just needs that one swing to kind of change things up. Adrian Lopez on deck. I mean, if you can walk the bases loaded here and then bring up Lopez, that would be dangerous.
3-2. That one's belted to right field, and that one will get down for a base hit. Livingston will stop at first, and it's an RBI single to right field as the Saints finally get a little bit of offense rolling.
How about his 2nd RBI of the season? Josh Livingston getting deep into that count, hooking that ball down towards right field, and it could have been a little bit more power on that. It's probably extra bases. It just didn't have enough oomph off the bat, but it got up in the air, got down into right field. Really nice base running over there, getting home from the Saints, adding a run on the scoreboard. And now, this is a squad now, runners on the corners, 2 outs. You've got the most dangerous hitter probably at the dish, the guy that has the most power. Yes, most of the power's towards left field, but you've also chased Andrew Stanley out of this game, and now 5 runs, sure, that seems a lot, but this is a team that scores offenses in bunches, right? They find ways. They come off each other, and, this is a squad that's averaging almost 8 runs a game in the CCL season, so 2 definitely below average. Sure, you're going to you're going to come back towards the mean at some point, but, now you've chased the guy that's been looked so dominant all game out of the ballgame.
Yeah, so Andrew Stanley will exit with runners on 1st and 3rd. His final line, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 2 runs, 5 strikeouts, 4 hits, and a walk. And now entering is Maximus Berber, who was actually the first baseman the last time these two teams played, and will now try to get out of this inning with runners at the corners and Adrian Lopez due up. Welcome you back to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Saints add on a run courtesy of a Josh Livingston RBI single to right field. So now Jacob Shart at third, Livingston at first, and Adrian Lopez ahead of the count 2-0. And on the mound for the Academy Barons, number 50, Maximus Berber, who actually made his first appearance at the plate in the game against the Saints. 4 innings pitched so far for him, 6 strikeouts, no walks, and a 2.25 ERA. As Lopez ahead of the count now 3-0.
And he's been a reliever for them. His only 4 innings pitched, but 4 appearances. 1 inning pitched in each appearance. And how about that?
Issues his first walk of the season to load the bases up for Joey Donnelly.
And these are the moments where you can really, one swing in this moment completely changes the complexion of this ball game because you don't need all 5 runs back now. You hit a single here, you get 2 back. Then it's a 3-run game, and you get 3 innings to play. You can work with that, but you cannot let this opportunity go to waste. Down 5, big hit here, and we've got a completely different game. That's a strike on the outer half. I thought that was maybe a little bit outside, but nonetheless, 0-1 down to Donnelly.
As Donnelly swings heavy on that pitch, quickly behind 0-2. Donnelly 1 for 2 so far in this one. Had that RBI double down the left field line. I'm sorry, the double down the left field line. He came around to score on a Ray Bermuda single. As that pitch low, nice stop by Andrew Pyle, a backstop for the Barons tonight.
And Shart's over there at third base, and against the righty in Bear, you almost have to wonder if Shart has to dance a little bit, right? No one's really covering the bag. No one's stopping you from walking down halfway down the line. Try and get in the head a little bit. Try and force some issues.
Is that pitch low for ball 2, and a nice play yet again for Andrew Pyle. Keep that ball in front of him. Bases loaded. Saints down 7-2 in the bottom half of the 6th inning. 2 outs, looking for some 2-out magic. 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors so far for the Saints as the 2-2. That one upstairs, nice hold by Donnelly. Count now full.
They're going to have a conversation, but now runners are going to go, right? Runners are going to go 3-2 count, 2 outs, bases loaded, bottom of the 6th. I mean, this is a situation where if you're Jacob Shart, like, honestly just start walking down the third base line as far as you can get before the third baseman starts walking over to the bag. Because, you really need to get into Bear's head. But huge pitch here. I mean, just this is huge.
As runners are already advancing, and that pitch swing and a miss, strike 3 call. And the Saints leave the bases loaded as we head to the top of the 7th inning. The Saints still down by 5. Evan Davis, Adam Beck for some Saints baseball. Welcome you to the top of the 7th inning. Jace Presley still on the mound for the Saints, as leading things off is the third baseman, Colin Taylor. Presley fires in the first pitch for a strike. Taylor, third baseman, as we mentioned for tonight, has struggled a bit at the plate in this one. 2 strikeout swingings in his last 2 at-bats. Has that one way outside, so the count evened up at 1. Taylor coming into tonight batting .156 on the season with 6 RBIs, 33 games at LA Valley College, batted .341 with a .464 on base, 6 home runs in those 33 games. As that one outside for ball 2. It's Presley in his second inning of work for the Saints. 4 strikeouts so far on the year coming into tonight in the 2 innings pitched. As the 2-1, that one's connected on as Livingston is unable to corral it after a weird hop. And Taylor will advance. Be an error from Livingston. That'll be the 4th error of the game by the Saints.
And it's just continuation of what we've talked about with these defensive miscues by this Saints baseball team. Just unable to make those plays. And, tough one over there, but you've got to find a way to kind of iron out these defensive mishaps.
So that first pitch is in there for strike 1. It's the catcher Andrew Pyle up. As that one is hit off the home plate. That'll be the first out recorded. A nice play by Nick Lazzara to get that ball over to Joey Donnelly, but the runner does advance to second.
Number 31, Andy Cisneros.
The 9-hole hitter, the left fielder, Andy Cisneros Jr. will step up. Runner in scoring position, 1 out as Presley fires a pitch down low for ball 1.
Yeah, and interesting to see how Jace Presley comes back. Obviously, has that runner on second, had the tough 6th inning that kind of expanded this game out a little bit more. And, you know, the Saints did find a way to put one on the scoreboard to, you know, stay within, you know, striking distance in terms of, you know, putting up a couple more runs the next couple innings to make a run at this thing. But, you know, interesting to see him get even a longer leash than, honestly, I would have expected after that tough frame.
Yeah, coming into tonight, just 2 innings pitched. Is that one in there for strike 1? Andy Cisneros Jr. 0 for 3 on the night. Coming into today was just batting 111 with 4 RBIs, however. From Cerritos College, 6 games played only, as that one's fouled back, so the count evened up at 2. Saints trailing 7-2 here. Runner in scoring position. That's Colin Taylor at second. As a 2-2 from Presley outside. Nice job by Lazara to keep that one in front of him. Saints 6-2 on the season. We're looking to move into first place to try to tie things up with the Santa Barbara Foresters, who stole a game from the Saints. As that pitch swing and a miss for strike 3, Cisneros goes down on K's for a second time tonight, and that'll bring the top of the order.
And it's been impressive from Jace Presley, especially the response. You know, it's something that kind of curious about. It's a pinch hitter here, but you know, this is a moment where Presley, you know, tough inning, tough outing. You come back, you allow the contact that gets to first base based on the error, and now Presley just waiting for things here. But you know, 2 outs. He's looked a little bit more confident in the second inning.
Kirchner will pinch hit in favor of the leadoff hitter, and in that leadoff spot was the shortstop Evan Cornwell. See how they handle these defensive substitutions as Presley hits him on the first pitch he sees. So I'm sure Kirchner will be giving it to his manager. Why'd you put me in the game?
No, I'm sure he won't be saying that. I feel like he probably wants to include that to help his on-base percentage. But hey, you know what? Now it's above 300, so good for him. And Kirchner, I mean, honestly, really dangerous hitter in this lineup. I'm surprised he didn't even get the start, just in terms of being one of only 3 Barons to hit a home run this year. Having a 5-game hit streak earlier this season, 7-game on-base streak, now back to on-base, so now an 8-game on-base streak. It's reached in his last 8. Now Zach Freeman, big spot here, trying to add a couple more insurance runs for this Baron squad.
Struck out swinging his last 2 at-bats. 1 for 4 on the night with an RBI single to right field. He was eventually tagged out at second. 1-1 now for him.
And we just saw Evan Cornwell walking just down here in front of us. Maybe a wrap on his foot. Maybe a foot injury is why he couldn't come in as that pinch hitter, or forcing a pinch hitter for Andrew Kirchner coming in for Cornwell.
Well, he did get hit by a pitch on his right leg, and he was gingerly walking to first base. Took a little bit of time to get there. It was the left foot that got him, and now he's being attended to. You know, we have the athletic trainers. We have a set of athletic trainers. They manage both teams, so had to make his way over to the Seco Saints side to get checked out. As the count 1-2 to the designated hitter, Zach Freeman. Presley looking back at second, will fire. That pitch low as Lazara keeps that one in front of him, even up the count at 2. Presley working on 1 2/3 innings pitched so far in this one. Just 1 strikeout so far as this pitch It's foul tipped and out of the glove of Lazaro, so the count will remain 2-2.
And the more I watch of Zach Freeman, the more I'm impressed by him. Just his poise at the dish. I mean, his ability to knock off pitches, foul pitches, stay alive in counts, continue to find ways to battle, even if it, hasn't necessarily gone his way. Struck out swinging both of his last 2 at-bats, but had that single for an RBI in his second at-bat. I mean, he's just put good moments together. Watches that one low, now full count.
Good eye. Good eye by Freeman on that one. The count now full. And after a 3-for-5 performance against the Riptide, just as we mentioned, 1-for-4 today. Presley just trying to get out of this inning, get the Saints back offensively as that pitch in there. Strike 3 call. 3 straight strikeouts in appearances for Freeman. And the Saints will head to the bottom of the 7th inning, still trailing 7-2. Welcome you to the bottom half of the 7th inning. And leading things off for the Saints, the right fielder, Ray Bermudez, who RBI single to left in his first at-bat, struck out swinging in his second. And Maximus Berber still on the mound for the Academy Barons as they lead by 5. As Bermudez connects on the first pitch he sees, just smokes that one down the right field line.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what we've seen from Ray Bermudez. He's got this super long swing, and if he just gets a little out ahead of that one, hooks it down that first base right field line, and lays off that one. Strike 2, 0-2 now, and we've seen him get into too many 0-2 counts, too many 1-2 counts. Like, this guy is such a talented hitter when he puts bat to the ball. It's just hasn't been able to find those successful moments constantly this season. It feels like he's just been, on the bad side of good pitching and hasn't been in many hitters' counts.
Trying to jumpstart this offense that's been fairly quiet tonight as that pitch just fouled off. So the count will remain the same. Saints 2 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. The Barons 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors, which we talked about the plentiful amount of errors that they had in their last game, the loss against the Riptide, as Bermudez evens up the count at 2. The Saints will face the Conejo Oaks tomorrow as Bermudez fouls off another pitch, this one right at the Barons dugout.
Yeah, you got a little road trip tomorrow.
Road trip.
A little bit of an earlier start time. I think the start time's 4 o'clock up there in Thousand Oaks.
As Bermudez belts that one to left field, tracking that one And it's off the wall. Tracking that one was Andy Cisneros. Says Ray Bermudez 2 for 3 now.
Yeah, how about a big-time double to get things going here in the 7th? And that's just kind of what Ray Bermudez does. Like, he puts the bat to the ball and has so much power, so much length in that swing. Did not get all of that, but just so much hard contact off the bat. Got over the head of Cisneros, and we've talked about many times in this ballpark, left field, left center field, so deep. That left fielder has to cover so much ground. I mean, you've got 374 to the wall. There's almost more ground in that left corner than there is in left center. So he's got to play so far over to the left, and that allows a little bit more space in left center. And, Bermudez just laces that one right into that left center gap. One hops off the warning track onto the wall, and, it's so deep back there. It's going to be an easy double every time.
As Lazara swing and a miss on the first pitch he sees, and the Saints maybe get a little bit of a rally going here. Runner on second, nobody out. Peter Worth, Tyler Gordon to follow. As Lazara 0 for 2, ground out into a double play, struck out swinging. Now quickly behind 0 and 2.
Just a beautiful pitch on the inner half. I mean, we're just nibbling on that inner edge, and Lazara taking the entire way, thought it was inside, but just caught a piece of the plate.
0-2 offering as Lazara just fouls that one off. The count remains at 0-2 as Bermudez still at second. Berber in his second inning of work. Checks back on the runner, will fire. That one swing and a miss, strike 3. And Berber picks up his second K of the night.
Yeah, and back-to-back swinging strikeouts for Nick Lazar after grounding out into a double play back in his first at-bat. That'll bring up Peter Worth. And, Worth has not found success late. Obviously, had the big-time, game-winning hit on the walk-off against the Conejo Oaks now almost 2 weeks ago. But, got hurt, got bumped, got hit by a pitch, grounds this one out to first base.
Quickly 2 outs as Worth hustling down to first. So now after a leadoff double, it's up to Tyler Gordon to try to bring home Ray Bermudez.
And Gordon's a contact guy. Single to center field last time out. Ball that really hung up there. Bermudez advancing 90 feet over there to third base, and
Gordon was looking to bunt, held back in the count 1-0.
it'd be interesting. Maybe a squeeze here. Honestly, even with 2 outs, get a squeeze going up the first base side. Can he get past the pitcher? And he gets hit there. Ow. That one hurt.
That one you could hear. So now runners on first and third, and you have a speedy guy in Tyler Gordon. Curious to see if he makes an effort to advance over to second. Top of the order coming up, and Jacob Shart, who had a 3-run home run in the last game against the Sunrays, has a chance for a little bit of magic here, make this game interesting in the bottom half of the 7th.
Shart is a guy that's come up in big moments before. I mean, you go back to the game against the Conejo Oaks, the team that the Saints squad will face tomorrow, the first meeting between them happening here, the walk-off from Peter Worth, but just the moments before, Jacob Shart with the ground rule double over the center fielder's head. I mean, he's been in so many big moments, come up big in so many big moments, still trying to keep that 6-game hit streak alive.
Is that one low for ball 1, so the count evens up. Shart 0 for 2 in this one with a walk. Came into tonight with a .417 batting average, looking to get on the base paths via a hit. He's a 6-game hitting streak that's hanging in the balance. Is that pitch outside for ball 2?
And he's been so patient in so many different counts this year. Bear mentioned earlier in this broadcast, but Every single one of his outings this year, only 1 inning pitched. If he gets the out here, it would be 1 1/3. So he's been a really good reliever for this Barons team, coming in with a 2.25 ERA.
It's a 2-1. Gets the outer half of the plate, even up the count at 2. Jacob Shart, probably the hitter you would want in a situation like this. Get a 2-out rally. Maybe see Tyler Gordon advance on this pitch as he's dancing at first. Berber will get the strikeout he needs. Jacob Shart goes down swinging, and after a leadoff double from Ray Bermudez, the Saints go down without a run. We'll head to the top of the 8th inning with the score remaining 7-2.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the games outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound. Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Carrillo did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground rule double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
We welcome you to the top of the 8th inning and a pitching change on the mound for the Saints. It's the right-handed pitcher Jace Presley from Fort Smith, Arkansas, making his 3rd appearance in 2 innings so far, 4 Ks, 4 walks, 4 earned runs.
Yeah, you know, it makes sense trying to get a different arm in here.
I apologize, guys. Brady Nelson. I read the wrong stats for Brady Nelson. I apologize. But continue.
Yeah, no. You're good. I was about to say Fort Smith, Arkansas. I don't think Brady
From
Nelson's
Oro
from
Valley, Arizona.
Yeah, there you go. That's how I knew. I felt like something was off.
That's how I knew something was
But
off. I apologize.
last appeared 8 days ago against the Crawdads. 2 innings pitched, 2 hits, 1 walk. And you know, Nelson's been a guy that has only seen 2 appearances so far. He was teammates with Eli Watson at Arizona Western in 2024. Watson has not gotten into this game, still searching for his first hit of the CCL season. It's really been a struggle for him, but Nelson getting into the lineup now and getting a chance on the bump.
Dylan Kordick up to bat. Had that 2-run RBI double and later advanced to 3rd just on the error, as that one is just slapped to second base. Gordon, nice play, throws across his body, and that ball just gets past Joey Donnelly. So Kordick will advance to 1st on the error.
Brings up Dylan Lenon. We've just continued to see errors from this infield. And I feel like I've mentioned it a million times, but it's really just this one glaring hole. Because, yes, the offense hasn't really showed up today, but that's one game of, you know, the 8 or so in CCL play that we've seen, now the 9th game of CCL play. And, you know, overall the offense has been there. And in pretty much every moment, only one time the Saints squad has scored less than 6 runs. And this defense just feels like an issue game in and game out with routine plays. So, yeah.
Lena singled to 1st and had an RBI in his – singled to 3rd and had an RBI in his last at bat, and also doubled to deep center field over the glove of Crew McChesney as Nelson checks back on the runner. The Saints just held to 2 runs so far through 7 innings. It would be their lowest run total of the season as Lazara keeps that one in front of him and the count evens up 1-1. And talked about how Lena was really struggling coming into tonight, 0 for his last 11, and now 3 hits so far in this one, and has contributed in every at-bat, a sac fly in his first one.
Yeah, the sac fly, the double, the single. I mean, it's just been really impressive what he's been able to do, and hammers that ball.
Hammers that one. Crew McChesney gliding back. He makes an impressive over-the-shoulder catch for the first out. That ball was smoked off the bat of Dylan Lena, but just a great read from Crew McChesney out in center. And after a deep double in his second at-bat, Crew McChesney grabs that one.
Talk about an athlete in center field, and we've mentioned this. Crew McChesney, a 2-sport guy in high school, offered to play football at Nevada as a wide receiver. And, I mean, the wide receiver skill's there. Just tracking back, tracking that ball. Had to make like the behind the over-the-shoulder catch. Wanted to go back window. But just really good job. I mean, he is so athletic in center field, able to really see the ball and make really big plays as Jack Burke swings through a big first pitch strike.
Jack Burke 0 for 3 with a walk and advanced to second on an error from Adrian Lopez. He's in for his 5th at-bat as a check back on the runner. Gets in easily. Saints still trailing 7-2, 1 out now as after that incredible catch by Crew McChesney. And kind of saw a little bit of the opposite with Zach Freeman last time these two teams played, making an incredible catch on Nick Lazara as Burke swings through that quickly behind 0-2. Burke came into tonight with 6 hits in 5 games, 2 doubles and a triple from Cypress College and now at the University of Houston. Is the 0-2. Good eye from Burke to lay off the off speed.
Yeah, just testing him on that pitch, and really good job by Burke to just stay away from it.
It's the 1-2. Brady Nelson looking to fire as the runner goes Kordick. He will be tagged out at second. A beautiful throw from Nick Lazara as Brady Nelson gives him some love.
A frozen rope, an absolute hose down there at the bag at second base. But, you know, you cannot talk about that play without talking about the Saints dugout there, right? Yelling, runner. Brady Nelson gets down. Lazara stands up. I mean, he doesn't even see him probably. He's focusing on the pitch. Probably sees out of the corner of his eyes. But Nelson, I mean, he's got no idea the runner's going. And really good job by the dugout to stay attentive, even in a ball game that they're down 5 runs and showing some of this fight, some of this spirit, just yelling, there's a runner. Nelson gets his head down. Lazara flings over to second base. Great tag, great throw, electric play. Full count here.
That one's just slapped to the shortstop. Adrian Lopez on to first. In time, the speed from Burke. And it's an infield single. That will keep the inning going with Deuce Robinson up next.
And it'll be ruled an infield single, right? That's an infield single. But Adrian Lopez was so nonchalant over there at shortstop. I mean, you've got speed down the baseline. You have to be aware of that. Especially if you're playing at USC next year, right? You're going to be going against Big Ten baseball. Some really good players, obviously, with UCLA, Oregon, Washington, right? Those are going to be the real catalysts in that conference. The Big Ten, not necessarily known for its baseball prowess. You've got Iowa, you've got Maryland, some good programs, but just so nonchalant over there at shortstop. You've got to recognize their speed on the base paths, their speed in the batter's box. You've got to get to that ball and throw a strong ball over there to first. I mean, it was a nice throw, but you've got to do that faster.
2-0 now to Robinson, who has 2 infield singles in this one as well. Struck out swinging in his last at-bat. As he belts that one right to the shortstop, Adrian Lopez, and the Saints get out of the inning. Still trailing 7-2 as we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Saints looking for some answers. All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove
of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling onto the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. And first and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the ninth for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Welcome you to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Maximus Berber still on the mound. That pitch inside for strike 1.
Crew McChesney, big spot here. You got to find a way to get something going, to keep the momentum rolling of the offense in this young season, and swings through another one, 0-2 count, and tough for McChesney. And with something we've talked about with McChesney is, at BYU this season, only 53 at-bats, but 20 strikeouts. However, when he wasn't striking out, .515 batting average on balls in play. Like, this guy, when he doesn't strike out, puts the ball in play. I mean, he's electric. It's just too many times in the CCL season has struck out and, had 6 coming into this game. Already has 2 in his 3 at-bats, so up to 8 on the young season.
That pitch outside brings the count back to 2-2. Berber throws that pitch in the dirt, so after an 0-2 count to Crew McChesney, he battles back for a full count. Nobody out. Josh Livingston on deck. McChesney 0-for-3 with 2 strikeouts. It's 3-2 outside, ball 4. What an at-bat for McChesney. Battles back.
Keep the on-base streak alive. I mean, it's gonna lose the 5-game hit streak probably, but keeps that on-base streak alive. Now up to 6 games, has reached base in all 6 of his appearances this season. That's why he's in the top half of the lineup.
Josh Livingston up with Crew McChesney on first. Livingston just belts that one foul down the first baseline.
Livingston had that big RBI single last time up, hooking that ball into right field, and maybe that's a play that you take away from this game. And Livingston, yeah, he's had some issues over there at third base, but made that really nice throw earlier in this game, had a big RBI single, now 1-for-3, trying to...
As the runner goes, Crew McChesney will get in there to second base, so runner in scoring position now for Livingston.
McChesney's got wheels. I mean, I thought that was Gio Sambito flying in on a F-16 over there, just with the speed on the base paths by McChesney. And
Gio Sambito's last game with the Saints was on that Wednesday night. He started 5 innings. As Livingston fouls that one out of place with the count now 1-2. Saints looking for some offense here. Just 2 runs so far in this one. 5 hits, 5 errors. As Livingston stays alive, battles. This Barron squad, 7 runs on 10 hits. And it's usually not a recipe for a win when you have as many hits as errors. Berber fires that one down low. Count even at 2.
Yeah, and good to see Livingston get deep into these at-bats. You know, something that we've talked about with him and some of the struggles, and we talked to Peter Worth about this too, but when you're struggling and you're at the plate, you almost want to get defensive, right? You're struggling, but hitting's about being offensive, and this one is.
That one's pelted into left center field. Easy catch for Cisneros, but McChesney will not be able to advance to third.
I'm surprised nobody's talked about Adrian Lopez's walk-up song. I can't tell if it's good or not.
I like it.
It's certainly a choice.
I like it.
What would your walk-up song be?
California Girls.
I think no, but it'd have to be with the Snoop Dogg rap in it. I feel like that'd be perfect for you.
No, I just need blasting Katy Perry. I want to make sure everyone hears it.
That's fair enough.
As Berber checks back on McChesney. Berber threw 43 pitches so far in an inning and 2/3, 22 strikes, 19 balls. Headed the count 0-1 to Adrian Lopez, who's 0 for 2 so far in this one with a strikeout, a line out, and a walk.
And if you're the Saints here, you just got to find ways to get on base and move your guys over, and a balk will do that. It's Bear gets called for a balk, and Barron's manager unhappy about that one, going out to talk to him about that.
McChesney just gets a free 90 feet. Berber ahead 0-1 as Lopez swings through that, so the count now 0-2. You can just see the disgruntled look on Lopez. As that one in there for strike 3, and Lopez goes down looking for the second time in this one. It'll bring up Joey Donnelly. So after Drew McChesney gets on with a leadoff walk, advancing to second on a stolen base, and then third on a balk. Now it's up to Joey Donnelly to try to get home another run.
And Donnelly's got that pop in his bat, doubled to get things going back in his first at-bat, came around to score. But it's really been quiet, the Saints offense, all night. And this pitching staff by the Barons have really kept these Saints guys off their feet. And it's been obviously Stanley to start, and Berber now has done a pretty good job in relief.
Joey Donnelly, even count at 1-1, came into tonight with a .318 batting average and a team-high 9 runs scored. Doubled to deep left field in his first at-bat, pop up to short in his second, and struck out swinging in his third, as that one just a bit upstairs for ball 2. Berber checks in on the runner, and that one on the outer half of the plate, count 3-1, as Ray Bermuda is set to be the next man up should Joey Donnelly get on base. As a 3-1 swing and a miss from Donnelly, the count now full.
And, I mean, this is really the last gasp, last chance for the Saints to try and get one more on the board, make this a 4-run game going to the 9th. Just got to find a way to get a run, maybe 2, just even with 3 full count here, 2 outs. I mean, it's just so tough, but it's a good walk from Joe Donnelly.
Going inside for ball 4. Now it's up to Ray Bermudez, who doubled to deep left field in his previous at-bat. Had an RBI single, so 2 for 3 so far.
Right fielder number 6, Ray Bermudez.
Berber issues his third walk. And that one inside, the ball gets passed, and that'll score a run. Advance both runners 90 feet. So Crew McChesney gets the third run for the Saints. And that one will also advance Joey Donnelly to second base. So now a hit makes this a very interesting game.
McChesney picked up his fourth stolen base earlier in this inning, and that allowed him to get over there to third base, picking up from first to second and then advancing to third, and now comes all the way home. And okay, 4-run game here in the 8th, runner on second. You get one here. You have a sliver of chance here.
As that one's pelted through the second baseman, that'll score a run as Ray Bermudez comes on home. And Dylan Lena was just unable to corral that one. It was a beautifully placed swing. And Ray Bermudez now 3 for 4 with 2 RBI singles.
And clearly there's something about Joey Donnelly on second and Ray Bermudez at the plate, because second time in today's game we've seen Donnelly at second and Bermudez with a single to bring him in. Now 7-4 ball game. You got Nick Lazara up, who's really struggled today. 0 for 3, grounded out into a double play, struck out swinging his last 2 plate appearances, but he put one swing on the ball here, and this game, it gets tighter and tighter by the second. But the Saints have put themselves in a good position. Got 2 runs here in the bottom of the 8th. Potential for more here with a runner on first and 2 outs and Lazar at the dish. But they're within striking distance, at least, in the 9th. That's if the pitching can hold, of course.
The Godfather they call Nick Lazara as the 1-0. That one down low for ball 2. And now one swing of the bat could make this a very, very interesting game. Runners at the corners with 2 outs. Lazara ahead of the count, 2-0. 0 for 3 tonight with 2 strikeout swingings and a ground ball double play. There's a huge swing and a miss there, brings the count to 2-1.
You wonder if the Saints get aggressive here on the base paths, try and pick up 90 feet. Not be surprised if they do that with Bermudez.
As that one on the outer half of the plate, the count now 3-1. And Peter Worth can really change the complexion of this one on deck should Nick Lazara advance. As that one is connected into right field. That one will advance runners 90 feet. And Peter Worth will step up representing the tying run.
Doesn't have a hit since first game against the Walnut Creek Crawdads over a week ago, about a week and a half ago now at this point. He went 2 for 4 in that game. His last 3 hits have gone to left field, and that's really when he's been at his best. On that Thursday against the Crawdads, was hit by a pitch, left the game early, and then didn't play against the Foresters in Santa Barbara. And against the Barons earlier this week, went 0 for 3, 0 for 3 so far today, 0 for 6 against the Barons this season. And huge moment here with 2 on, the tying run coming to the plate. And the Saints have done a great job here, especially with 2 outs, finding a way to extend this game, continue to tally guys on the board, just trying to get deeper and deeper in this game as Maximus Berber has struggled to really, be the archer to pull up the bullseye into the side of the Saints. But this game is not out of reach yet. The mojo and the momentum is starting to switch, and a big opportunity here for Peter Worth to continue to be clutch this season like he's been clutch all season long in big moments. Here with 2 on, 2 outs.
Peter Worth with runners on first and second, still 2 outs in this one. Berber checks back on the runner, will fire that one just up high. Now for ball 1. The 1-0, that one low and away for ball 2.
And it's a really good start to this at-bat for Worth, who has struggled to find that elusive hit in the past little bit after getting that hit by that pitch.
He fouls that one back. Now 2-1.
His dad told him to chop that wood. That's a direct quote. His dad, one of his biggest supporters, obviously. Every single game, he pulls up the lawn chair, gets right up to the fence here in Pasadena.
There's that one in there. The count quickly back to even at 2-2.
Just got to stay with it here. I mean, hitting is all about timing, all about getting to that rhythm.
As that one's pelted to right field, that'll score a run, and it will make it. Apologize. Ray Bermudez then held back at third. Looked like he was thinking about advancing. So now the bases are loaded for Tyler Gordon.
Yeah, it looks like the Barons are going to make a call to the bullpen here in the 8th, but the Saints, they're certainly knocking on the door. Bases loaded, 7-4 ball game. Saints trail by 3. We'll let you know what's going on with the pitchers on the other side of this.
All right, hello and welcome everyone live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it'll score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and the Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio did get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for this Saints.
New pitcher in the game for the Barons. It's number 51, Grant Ferris, who the Saints are very familiar with. He made an appearance in their last game, went an inning in the third, giving up 2 runs but surrendering 5 walks.
And he can outwalk a batter here because the bases are loaded with 2 outs. And the Saints found a lot of success off him. I mean, 1 1/3 inning pitched on Tuesday against Arroyo Seco. Allowed 2 hits, 2 earned runs, 5 walks, 2 strikeouts. But I bet the decision here is the lefty matchup, right? Obviously, we've talked about this a million times. But this is a Saints lineup that is so many lefties. I mean, more than probably the population of Pasadena, to be honest. And the truth is, you bring in Tyler Gordon now, right? Another a lefty batter here in a big spot, hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, single to center field in the second one. And, you know, this is a guy that has really good contact abilities, bat-to-ball skills. Jacob Shart on deck. I mean, this is where you want this Saints lineup to be in this spot. Down 3 here, bases loaded. Ferris throws the first pitch.
That pitch in there for strike 1. You know, we see the lefty-on-lefty matchup. It's what managers always want. Bases loaded for a second time tonight for the Saints. Unable to score the first time, both coming with 2 outs. As Ferris fires and delivers on the outside. That one called strike 2.
And if you're Tyler Gordon here, I mean, such a difficult spot, down 0-2, 2 outs, bases loaded. The momentum started to switch, but this is potentially the game here.
0-2, that one outside, good eye from Tyler Gordon.
And if you're Tyler Gordon here, I mean, you got to swing at anything that's close. You've got to be super defensive in terms of defending the strike zone. And sure, hitting's about being attacking and aggressive and being offensive, but, you know, huge spot here. I mean, If you're Tyler Gordon, you probably want to just be hit by another pitch.
Ferris 1-2 outside. The count back to even at 2-2. Gordon single to center field in his second at bat. Was hit by a pitch in his last at bat. Looking to make this game very, very interesting. Feels like the last hurrah as the 2-2. That one swing and a miss, strike three. A beautiful off-speed pitch to fool Gordon. And the Saints will strand the bases loaded for the second time tonight. We'll head to the top of the ninth inning with the Saints trying to hold a 3-run deficit. Leading off the top of the ninth inning for the Academy Barons, number 14, Colin Taylor, who's 1 for 3 in this one, advanced to first on an error by Josh Livingston over at third. Brady Nelson remains in the game for the ninth inning, just trying to hold a 3-run deficit as the Saints have the top of the order coming. First pitch just slapped foul.
And the best thing you can do here if you're the Saints defense is obviously you don't want to give up base runners, you don't want to give up a run, but it's honestly to get off the field as quick as you can because, as the moon continues to move up in the sky, right, you don't want it to move too far because you want it to be pretty quick amount of time between your batting because you don't want that momentum to just disappear. So using the moon as an indicator of how much time it's been, right, you don't want the moon to move that far.
Count quickly 0-2 to Colin Taylor with Brady Nelson still working. Just had to wait for the foul ball to get out of play as the 0-2, that one pelted back off the netting. Colin Taylor coming into tonight batting 156 in 9 games played, 6 RBIs, 1 for 5 in their last game against the Riptide, had an RBI. So live 0-2 and a swing and a miss, strike 3, and that's 3 swinging strikeouts for Colin Taylor in this one. Coming up next, the backstop Andrew Pyle, who walked, grounded out to third, a single, and another ground out that just made it to the catcher, Nick Lazara, in for the 5th time tonight from Fullerton College, as that one upstairs for ball 1.
It's a way to get the first out, but you really got to continue to throw strikes. You really want to get those hitters back out there, and you got 1, 2, 3 back up to the top of the lineup for the Saints.
As that one is blasted to right field, just not enough launch angle on that as Ray Bermudez with the easy grab. quickly 2 outs here in the away half of the 9th inning.
Number 31, Andrew Cisneros.
They'll bring up the 9-hole hitter, Andy Cisneros Jr., who's 0 for 3 tonight with a strikeout, a couple ground outs. That pitch just inside for ball 1 from Linwood, California, entering his sophomore season at Cerritos. Coming into tonight, 5 games played, a 111 batting average, 4 RBIs, as that one is smoked down the right field line, so the count even up at 1. Saints looking for another 9th inning rally. We saw the one against the Conejo Oaks in a similar spot, down 3, as Nelson's looking to keep a 3-run deficit intact. Don't want to add too much more damage. It's the count now 2-1. Saints head up to the wonderful Thousand Oaks tomorrow. Is that one outside? Count 3-1.
You got to tack back the strike zone here. You can't be walking batters, especially with 2 outs here. You're trying to cling on into this game. And, you know, it's been so tough for the Saints all season long in terms of these kinds of moments when they've come back, right? Trying to come back. And they've done it at times, right? Obviously, the game against the Foresters stands out. The game against the Crawdads were 5-5 in the 9th inning. And, you know, it hasn't happened a lot where the Saints have been down, but in moments where they've needed pitching to really step up, it's kind of phased out. And, of course, I mean, it's a baseball season. It's going to happen. It's a long season. You're not going to be perfect every game, but you really need Brady Nelson to get a strikeout here.
3-2 upstairs for ball 4. So Cisneros Jr. draws the walk.
It's a good job by Cisneros Jr. Just lay off that entire way. And Andrew Kirchner getting his second opportunity after pinch hitting for Evan Cornwell last time up. And Cornwell left this game with a foot injury to his left foot.
Hit by a pitch on the first pitch that was thrown to him for Andrew Kirchner, as that one just paints the outer half of the plate for strike 1. The 0-1, that one back in the same spot, outer half of the plate for strike 2. So quickly behind 0-2 is Andrew Kirchner. 9 games played so far this season, 1 home run, 11 strikeouts in those 9 games. From Cal State attending Cal State Fullerton this upcoming fall, was at Golden West College this past season. As the 0-2, that one is slapped to Joey Donnelly over at first, who will make the easy play for out number 3. The Saints will head to the bottom of the 9th inning, trailing by 3, looking for some more 9th inning magic.
All right, hello and welcome everyone, live from Jackie Robinson Field here in Pasadena. Evan Davis joined alongside Adam Beck, and it's the home opener for the Arroyo Seco Saints. Looks like it will hit into the gap. Yes, it will, and it will score a run off the glove of Pollock. That will score 2. It's quickly 4-0 top of the first inning for the Oaks. 3-1 offering, low and away for ball 4, and that will bring in the first run of the game. It's outside, ball 4. Fisher stumbling off the mound, and Saints just finding any way possible to get some runs, and they've now walked in 2 with the Saints as a pass ball gets away. 5-2 lead for the Oaks. 2-1 offering, that one down the third base. Beltowski will fire that one across. And 1 out now, but the runners advance to now be 5-3. First and second as they connect again. Rio didn't get a great read on that, and it's over his head. Ground roll double, and this game is tied. The 1-1 offering is connected on. That's in the left field, and that'll do it. The Saints come back down 5-2, and Peter Wirth walks it off.
How about a 4 spot by the Oaks to start things off in the first inning? And how about a 4 spot in the bottom of the 9th for the Saints to end things in the 9th inning? What a game for the Saints.
Jacob
Leading things off in the bottom of the 9th inning. It's 1-2-3 for the Saints, so Jacob Shart will start things off. Grant Ferris remains on the mound after striking out Tyler Gordon to end the bottom of the 8th inning, leaving the bases loaded. Gets the lefty-on-lefty matchup again as Shart pulls back the bunt, 1-0.
Yeah, and I mean, Shart riding into today with a 6-game hit streak. He's got 10 hits in that stretch, slashing 545, 643, 818 in his last 5 games. Has not had a hit today. Did find a way to get on base with a walk. And he gets hit by a pitch there. So leadoff batter aboard, and that's exactly what you want to do. It'll be interesting how aggressive the Saints here are on the base paths. They've been so aggressive all season long. Crew McChesney picking up a stolen base in the last inning, but now you bring McChesney up and top of the order, 1, 2, 3, due up. You got the first guy on base. This is huge momentum here is now the tying run in the on-deck circle.
Crew McChesney walked in his last at-bat. Another lefty-lefty matchup as that one inside for ball 1. What are you doing? As the 1-0, that one in there for strike 1. The count evens.
If you're McChesney here, yes, you're so good with the bat, but I almost wonder if you try and bunt here. What happens if you bunt singled your way on base? You've got so much speed, just put it maybe down the left field line, the third base line. I mean, he's going to swing the bat.
As that one pelted to third base, throw across the diamond in time. Nice recovery by Colin Taylor. So Jacob Shart advances to second. But instead of runners on first and second and Livingston representing the tying run, it's now just Jacob Shart left on second for Josh Livingston, the third baseman, who had an RBI single to right field in his his third at-bat, flew out to left field in his last at-bat, currently 1 for 4. As another lefty-on-lefty matchup for Ferris, checks back. Will fire that one beautifully placed, but ball 1.
Livingston's got to be patient here. You've got Lopez on deck. Shart over there at second.
He checks back again on the runner. That pitch on the outer half for ball 1, and what I hope are fireworks just went off.
Definitely fireworks, even though they're illegal in Pasadena.
Yeah, we've seen numerous signs saying fireworks are illegal, but just, you know what they say, rules are meant to be broken. As the 1-1, that one beautifully placed upstairs. Livingston swings for strike 2.
Yeah, also on the outer half, too, and Livingston trying to chase it the entire way and unable to make contact. Now in a 1-2 hole.
1-2 to Livingston, 1 for 4 in this one. Shart on second, quickly makes his way back as no one was patrolling second base. Dylan Lena switched from second to short after Evan Cornwell was taken out of the game after the hit by pitch. So now patrolling second base is Andrew Kirchner. Livingston in a 2-2 count from Wichita State University, Prosper, Texas. As the pitch, swing and a miss for strike 3. Josh Livingston goes down swinging, and after a leadoff runner, another Barons pitcher responds with 2 quick strikes. And now it's up to the shortstop, Adrian Lopez, to try to keep this game alive. Lopez has struck out looking twice, a line out to short and a walk in this one. As Ferris checks back on the runner, will fire that one down low for ball 1.
And we've already seen 2 strikeouts looking from Adrian Lopez
The 1-0 to Lopez came into tonight batting .391 on the season with a .517 on base. As that one swing and a miss.
And it's almost like Lopez can't figure out if he wants to be aggressive or if he wants to lay off, because he keeps on going back and forth. And at the beginning of the year, he was trying to be aggressive, swinging at everything. And in this game so far today, he's tried to be a little bit more cautious, a little bit more calm in the batter's box. And you see the 2 strikeouts looking now, swinging right through that fastball.
As that one just on the outer half, so the count now 2-2. 2-1. As Ferris checks back on the runner. That one, swing and a miss, count evens up at 2-2. So 1 strike away from a Barons win and snapping their 4-game skid.
Yeah, and I think seeing this lineup for the second time in a couple days for Grant Ferris has helped being able to, confidently be like, yep, I've faced this hitter before. I've figured out what to do.
As Lopez holds up, count runs full. Waiting on deck is the first baseman, Joey Donnelly, who has already contributed offensively, a double to deep left field his first at-bat, walked in his last at-bat. Shart most likely running on this pitch. Ferris checks back in on him, fires that one outside, ball 4. Lopez walks for the second time. It increases that on-base percentage as Joey Donnelly, 1 swing of the bat, ties this thing up.
And we've seen Donnelly, especially a lefty, right side of the batter's box, tendency to pull the baseball. Right field, yes, 345 to the wall. We've only seen 1 home run here so far this season. But out of anybody that can do it, it's definitely Donnelly, who hit one off the top of the wall a couple games ago, which one that we thought was gone, one that kind of catapulted his spring of doubles, has a double in this game. He's a guy with power in his bat.
As that one beautifully placed on the outer half of the plate for strike 1. So yet another lefty-on-lefty matchup for Grant Ferris. He's got runners on first and second. Donnelly represents the tying run at the plate. The 0-1, that one just outside for ball 1. Was trying to locate that exact same spot.
Yeah, and Donnelly's got to be both aggressive but patient here. He's got to wait for his pitch. He can't swing at everything, but you've got to have that mindset of just trying to get the next guy into the batter's box. That's Ray Bermudez in the on-deck circle.
The 1-1 is placed again on that outer half. That's where he's going to work Donnelly. So now, again, 1 strike away from the Saints' 3rd loss of the season. It would end the Barons' losing streak. As Ferris fires, that one outside for ball 2.
A lot of complaints by these away fans that have traveled from Compton.
The count now even at 2-2. Donnelly coming into tonight, average at .318. Walked in his last at-bat. Ferris fires. That one swing and a miss, strike 3 call. And the Barons end their 4-game losing streak, and the Saints fall to 6-3 on the season. A 7-4 final score. And just an unfortunate turn of events for the Saints, who just weren't able to capitalize with runners in scoring position.
And to be honest, it doesn't even feel like a game that the Saints really had any business being in. I mean, Andrew Stanley was so dominant to start things off. Grant Ferris looking really good closing things out. They were able to get a couple runs off Maximus Berber in between. But this is a Saints offense that really went quiet for the first time all season long. And weren't able to take advantage late in the game with the bases loaded in the 8th inning, with 2 on in the 9th inning. And just at the end of the day, we're not good enough offensively to find that magic to come back. The pitching, Chase Presley really struggled in the middle to give it a couple more extra insurance runs that kind of put the game out of reach in a way, because those 4 runs that the Barons scored early on, I mean, that's all that the Saints ended up putting on the scoreboard.
Yeah, so after, we saw last game, the Barons, they were leading 4-0, and then the Saints respond with 5 unanswered. Just not the same story here tonight. The Saints lose 7-4, with pitching really being dominant in this one. Yet again, for the Barons, it was the incredible work of Andrew Stanley that really kept this team in it. He finished with 5 strikeouts, just only allowing 4 hits and a walk through 5 2/3 innings pitched. Saints worked him for 87 pitches, but still keeps his ERA around the 1.6 threshold, and he has just been dominant. And we saw that in the last game with their starting pitcher, Dante Zamudio, who also didn't allow an earned run. And for the Saints, they will travel to Thousand Oaks, take on the Conejo Oaks, looking to bounce back with a victory. For Evan Davis, Adam Beck, and our wonderful producer, Mr. David, I keep forgetting, Matamoros. We thank you for Saints baseball.